Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in to Game 4, the Western Conference Finals here between the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers. Here tonight from Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, the Colorado Avalanche have the opportunity for the first time in 21 years tonight to move on to the Stanley Cup Finals. As they look to sweep the Edmonton Oilers, the Oilers hoping to keep it alive, hoping to send it back to Colorado for a Game 5. Two huge additions for the Colorado Avalanche tonight as they get Abe Kubel back and Andrei Burakovsky back tonight. Huge additions as they both have missed the last two games due to injury. Nazem Kadri obviously out. Rumor has it as he has a broken thumb. He will more than likely be out for the rest of the playoffs. Avalanche undefeated on the road. Now 6-0. Oilers have never been swept in a Western Conference final ever in the history of this team's history, and are undefeated once they lead at the end of the first period. So tonight, it's going to be very simple for the keys for the Colorado Avalanche. Get out, score very, very early, and really hold them on defense. Defensive play is going to be the most key thing to the Avalanche's victory tonight, as it has been all playoffs. Now for the Edmonton Oilers, obviously Evander Kane suspended for one game. That is tonight, due to the hit he put on Nazem Kadri and ended his season. So the Oilers have a lot of work to do tonight. They're going to go with Mike Smith in the net. Avalanche go with Pavel Francouz still. Darcy Kemper, though, has been skating in practice, has been taking live pucks, has been getting closer and closer to a comeback, which is not quite ready yet. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get this game underway here in just a couple of minutes. Puck drop is scheduled to be at 5:15. That seems to be a little bit over 5 minutes from now. I'm going to take a brief break here. We're going to come back, and when we do, we will have Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Please stay tuned. Testing. Got it. Okay, real quick in the chat, I just need to know real quick, can everybody hear me? If you're in the chat, if anybody's in the chat, please let me know if you can hear me. I made some additions to my microphone. If you let me know if it's too loud, if it's just perfect. I just made some adjustments to my microphone. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me see here. I wonder if it's ready now. Let's see. I wonder if it's loud enough. Okay. It's ready now. All right. I wonder if it's loud enough. Okay. It's ready now. Had a little bit of an echo there. Here we go. Oilers taking the ice right now. National anthems will be followed. We'll come back with Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals right here on the Case by Case Sports Show. Stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're bringing back in here. The Canadian National Anthem is about halfway through being sung. Once that is done, we will have Western Conference Finals hockey for you. The Oilers tonight trying to keep it alive. The Avalanche trying to put it away. It's very simple. Win tonight, and you go to play for Lord Stanley's Cup and forever cement your name in the immortals, in the annals of hockey history. fans finishing singing here the Canadian national anthem, "Oh Canada." So we're getting ready. The Oilers. The Oilers here in their dark blue jerseys with the orange trim. Avalanche in their white roads with the blue numbers. Burgundy and blue trim. As the same as was Saturday night. Let's bring the scoreboard in, ladies and gentlemen. This is Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Here we go. We're ready here. Both teams commencing at center ice here as we're getting ready for the puck drop. Oilers last game scored 38 seconds in. Let's hope they don't do that tonight. McKinnon and McDavid here, ready for the puck drop here. And we're getting ready for the face-off now. Referee trying to tell both of the boys to scoot back. Puck is down, and Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals is underway now. Taves gives it back to Makar as he'll move it along here to Nichushkin, up to Landeskog here, over the blue line, now to Taves as he'll dump it in and clear it around. Now Val Nichushkin fighting for it behind the net, but ultimately Nathan McKinnon will come up with it. Moved out to the circles now, and it'll be moved out of the zone. Now comes Leon Draisaitl flying over the blue line into the Avalanche zone as he turns back and stops and dumps it around the corners here from Connor McDavid, and it'll go around and out of the zone as a delayed offside was going to be called there. So now here is Darnell Nurse. Nurse with it now, and we'll move it up to Cody Ceci as he dumps it into the Avalanche zone. Coming around is McLeod with it now, back around to McDavid here as to Fogle as he fights for it. Checked hard into the boards by Eric Johnson with a shot on goal is Ryan, but it's saved by Francouz. And now brought out by Andre Burakovsky as it's cleared into the neutral zone into the Oilers zone, but it whistled for an offside. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me tonight. Let's see. Find a way. Get Game 4, says Broncos Breakdown. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you guys for joining us wherever you are as a face-off is coming to the face-off dot nearest to the Oilers bench here after an offsides call on the Avalanche. It'll be Rantanen and McLeod here for the face-off as the puck's down now. Oilers will win it and possess it. As now Barry tries to clear it around and clears it in the zone by Ryan. Giving chase to it is Fogle as he hits Johnson up against the boards. Didn't phase him as Johnson comes up with it. Now moving it out of the Avalanche zone. We'll get it over to Byram over the blue line. Here's Byron with it with a shot. It's blocked with a shot center again. And it's saved off as Arturi Lehkonen got in there. Now fighting around for the puck. Now Ryan comes out with it and will clear it out of the Oilers zone. And dumped in by Gulak there for a change for the Oilers. Now Jack Johnson with it behind the net as he comes out. Moves it up here to Josh Manson as Manson dumps it. They'll get trying to get a change. Now intercepted by Alex Newhook. Pass back here over to Newhook, and it's broken up as Kubel tried to get it back. Comfer giving chase to it now as Bouchard tries to get it out of the zone, but trips up with the puck and will move it all over to Duncan Keith. Now up the boards, being moved along through the neutral zone and over the blue line. Here comes McDavid. McDavid in with it with a shot, and it's poked away by Francouz. Puck loose in front of the net, and it's covered up by Francouz ultimately. I don't know why all the dislikes. Who knows? Can everybody hear me okay? Is it too loud? Is it too... I need to know my gauge of volume here. Is it too loud, just right? Let me know if I need to turn it down. If the sound is too sharp. Thank you guys for joining me though. 17:49 here. Left as the faceoff will come to the right faceoff circle near the Avalanche net. Puck down now, and it'll be Malone fighting for it as the Avalanche come up as Malone's tripped up by his own teammate. Now moved along to Cogliano over the blue line. Now we'll get it out with a shot. Save there by Mike Smith. Now with a shot again through the lane, and it's deflected wide right off the net here. Now working it around is Logan O'Connor over the left side of the net. O'Connor pushed back. Now backing around to Johnson with a shot, and it's blocked away, now retained by Nichushkin. Over to Johnson. Johnson here with it, gives it back here to Nathan McKinnon. McKinnon with it, kind of goes back against over the blue line. Now with a shot in the lane, and it's saved. Blocked off there by Mike Smith. Now as Josh Manson gets rocked in the boards there, and it'll be a whistle will be blown. And it looks like there'll be a penalty on Edmonton. Cassian's going to go to the box for 2 as he gets called for a slash. Oh, it'll get louder. 2 minutes here for the penalty. Cassian got caught for slashing. We go 17:07 here. Face-off coming to the left now. Puck down as now it'll come out to Makar. Makar here on the blue line will get it over to Mikko Rantanen with a shot, and it went wide as it goes out of the Avalanche zone, and Makar will give chase back to it now. Now Makar trying to bring it up and out. Avalanche 1 for 9 in their last 2 games. Here down Makar over the blue line, and by himself, trying to get through it, and will rim it around the boards over here for Mikko Rantanen. Trying to get it out to McKinnon. We'll get it back out to Rantanen. Rantanen over to McKinnon, back to Rantanen. Get it out to the blue line, and it's poked away by the Oilers and up out of the zone. Makar gets it to Landeskog over the blue line in the zone over to McKinnon. McKinnon back out to Makar on the blue line. Now getting it into Rantanen. Back out to Makar with a slap shot by McKinnon, and a saved puck loose out in front of the net. Being retained there. Now Makar with the shot, score! Oh, Cale Makar with the goal. Puts the Avalanche up 1-0 as that penalty expires there. 16:14 left. Avalanche score first. What a shot by Cale Makar to work it through the lane. Avalanche go up 1-0 here. Shots are 5-3 here. The puck down now, and the Oilers will possess it. Now Bouchard with it, working it up the ice, and it'll be cut off there by Darren Helm. Now being worked behind the net. Now Eric Johnson, and being worked out by Bowen Byram, trying to be pushed up the boards, and it will ultimately be pushed out of the Oilers zone. Now Bouchard with it at neutral zone, trying to work it back into the Oilers zone. Now give it over to Draisaitl, and he'll have it poked away and moved out of the zone. Bouchard going back to chase for it. In the neutral zone, we'll get it over to McDavid. Here comes McDavid rushing into the zone with a shot. Save pushed away by Francouz. Up out of the zone. Now comes Abe Kubel as he pushes it up out of the Oilers zone. Duncan Keith with the retreat now to Leon Draisaitl, as the Oilers still try to work it away as it's being poked away in the zone. Avalanche playing amazing, pressingly hard defense here. Now coming out is Bouchard here as he works it back around. The Avalanche have pushed them all the way back into their own net. Now comes out McLeod as he works it through the neutral zone, and it's cleared into the zone. Now over to Francouz as he'll play it to Abe Kubel. Kubel with it and works it up out of the Oilers zone. Now has it is Alexander Newhook as he works it around the boards. JT Compher giving chase to it, but it'll be picked off by Fogle here out for the Oilers, and will bring it behind the net. Fogle with it now, coming out of the net here for the Oilers. Now into the neutral zone as he tries to clear it up over the zone. He does. Fogle still has it with a shot, but it's blocked off there by Cale Makar. Being rimmed around back over to the boards. Now it'll be to Tyson Barrie, but that's poked away. Now McLeod trying to retain it. He's being poked away by Makar. Makar pokes it behind the net. Now Russell will give it now, and Kuviarvi now trying to fight for it. He'll work it out, but it'll be picked off by Lehkonen and moved out of the Oilers zone. Giving chase to it is Burakovsky, but he'll be kicked off by it. Now here's Lehkonen with it out in front of the net. Leaves it back for Burakovsky. Couldn't retain it though, as Puljujärvi gets out to Zach Hyman as he moves it into the zone here. Fans booing. They wanted the call, but wouldn't get it there as the Avs got physical, preventing Hyman from beating them to the puck in the back of their own net. Now here comes Nugent Hopkins out to Cassian now. Cassian on the right side of the net in the Avalanche zone, working it back towards the blue line with a shot by Ceci, but it's blocked in the lane by Andre Burakovsky as he dives and pokes it out of the zone. Now Nichushkin giving chase to it now with Darnell Nurse, but he'll ultimately just dump it around. Nichushkin still chasing it in the corner with Cody Ceci. Now being picked up by Landeskog in the zone with a shot, and it's saved. picked up by McKinnon. It'll be covered up by Mike Smith as McKinnon gets shoved down to the ice. Avalanche not taking exception to it. 5-4 here with 13:44 left here to go. Avalanche get on the board first as Cale Makar puts one in the net through the lane. The Avalanche lead 1-0. You're listening to Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals right here on the Case by Case Sports Show. We'll be back. Back here, ladies and gentlemen. 13:44, Avalanche first on the board here. Cale Makar comes up big and gets the Avalanche's first goal. Here now, puck down, and the puck's being fought for and ultimately possessed by the Oilers. Now McDavid with it through the zone. Gets it back to Cody Ceci with a slap shot, but he whiffed hard. That was Puljujärvi now trying to poke it back into the zone, but it'll be moved out by the Avalanche. Now Valentin with it. We'll get it to Nathan McKinnon as he comes over the blue line. Clearing it with the chase of the shot. Save. Trying to get a rebound is Nichushkin, but he can't get out in time. Now McKinnon with it behind the net. Tries to flip it into the slot. But McDavid will pick it up now, move it through the neutral zone. But he's swarmed immediately by 3 Avalanche as they move it out of the zone. Here's now Landeskog trying to get it and bring it back into their own zone. So now here, Bowen Byram now with it now. It'll move it around and dump it into the zone. Cogliano trying to pick it up. It'll be ultimately picked up by Helm with a shot in the lane. Rebound, puck loose out in front. Cogliano retains it, kicks it back out to the blue line. Now to Johnson. Eric Johnson, with it with a shot. It's blocked and tipped up. Now around to the left side of the zone and being cleared out by the Oilers here. Avs contesting it as they're trying to clear it in, and they do. Here's now Logan O'Connor with it. O'Connor in the lane, and he's shoved hard and bumped off the puck. Now here comes the Oilers up here as they cleared into the Avalanche zone, but being picked off there by Jack Johnson. Now moved up to Abe Kubel. Kubel with it now. He'll move it along here to Alexander Newhook. Right into the left corner as they battle with Tyson Barrie. Now being moved around here by Kubel as well. Draisaitl will pick it up, though. Being kept in, though, picked off here by a Justin shot. No score as it did hit the top of the bar, but not past the line there. That was, Josh Manson. Now trying to move it out of the zone here are the Avalanche, and it's being contested by the Oilers. Now worked up and dumped into the zone here by, I believe, Nichushkin. Abe Kubel giving chase to it around the back of the net, but it'll be brought up with by Darnell Nurse and moved out of the zone. Not touched all the way down to the other end. But they'll wave off the ice in here. Eric Johnson now with it. We'll bring it out here. Here's Eric Johnson as he moves it along the boards here into the Oilers zone, but the Oilers will poke it right back out. Now Fogle with it in the neutral zone, and we'll dump it down into the Avalanche zone as Byram gives chase to it and shoved violently into the boards by Ryan. Now loose puck out in front, and Bouchard tries to take a shot at it, but he whiffed and missed it as it went wide right. Being fought around here as the Avalanche getting absolutely physical with the Oilers. Oilers fans not liking it. Now here with the feed here. Here is McLeod now in the blue line of the Avalanche zone with Duncan Keith with a slap shot save. Rebound save again as McCarr tries to push it out here. Now here's Taves with it. Taves taking it and dumping it out of the zone back into the Oilers zone. Oilers now retreating with it now in their own zone, being contested by Val Nichushkin. Here comes working it up now is McDavid now through the neutral zone, and there is a whistle, and puck will be touched with a high stick here with 10:45 left here in the first period. Still 1-0. Here we go. Face off now. Puck down. Here now as the Avalanche have it as they're rimming it around back behind the net. Oilers have it. Here's Tyson Barrie from the blue line with a shot. It's knocked down, but knocked away by Puljujarvi. Now McCarr with it now through the neutral zone. Here comes McCarr over the blue line of the Oilers zone. McCarr with it now, trying to wait with a shot that's saved by Smith. Rebound now. Draisaitl has it now, and he'll move it out of the Oilers zone. Here comes Draisaitl through the neutral zone over the blue line. Now with Cody Ceci as he dumps it right back in the zone. Move it around. Puljujarvi will move it in. Now back to Draisaitl. Draisaitl behind the Avalanche net here. Moving it to McDavid. McDavid now with it behind the net. Coming out to the right side. We'll try to get out to Barrie. It's poked away by Nathan McKinnon. Moved up out of the zone as Jack Johnson moves it along. Puljujarvi back to Smith. Smith now playing it as he gets all the way to the neutral zone. The Draisaitl, and Draisaitl will dump it in. Now with the puck dumped up and out of the zone, and it's going to be a high stick called on Darren Helm. The Oilers will go on the power play. Here we go. 9:49 left here in the first period, ladies and gentlemen. Still 1-0 Avalanche. You're listening to Game 4 of the Western Conference Final here on the Case by Case Sports Show. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back here. Still deep in the first period. The Avalanche lead 1-0 here. So it'll be a 2-minute holding the stick on Darren Helm at 10:19. The Oilers effectively on the power play. 9:41 left here in the first period. Face-off coming to the left face-off circle. The Avalanche net as the puck's down, and the Oilers possess it here. Here's now Bouchard with it. We'll get it along to Connor McDavid with a shot, save, rebound, save. Back out in front of the net with a shot by Draisaitl, save. Now McDavid now kicks it back out to Bouchard here to Draisaitl with a slap shot by Bouchard, save in front of the net by Francouz. Battling for the puck now. The Oilers will have it. Here's Draisaitl now with it out to Bouchard. Now it's to Draisaitl. Draisaitl on the right side near the faceoff circle with a shot saved by Francouz. Trying to get knocked out, and it will be cleared out of... No, it won't be kept in by Bouchard. Bouchard with it up here to McDavid. McDavid with a shot save, pushed away. Francouz is a stone wall right out in front of the net. Bouchard with it now. Over to McDavid. Back to Bouchard with a slap shot. Howitzer, and it went left of the net. Now McDavid with it, now retaining it here in the zone. McDavid will get it back here to Draisaitl, back over to Bouchard. Bouchard in with it to McDavid with the shot, and it went wide of the net. Draisaitl keeping it in here to the right of the faceoff circle. Back out to Bouchard on the blue line as he walks it now. Bouchard with it. Back over to Draisaitl. Draisaitl back over to Bouchard up at the top of the point. Now to McDavid. Tries to get it back to Bouchard, but it goes out of the zone. Way too much. 35 seconds left here on the power play. Here comes Draisaitl now with it. Clearing it into the zone, but it'll be picked up by Erik Johnson and flipped back out of the zone. Here we go now as Tyson Barrie has it behind the net here. Barrie now with it. Coming out. We'll leave it behind here for McLeod. McLeod coming in. 21 seconds left on the power play as he clears it into the Avalanche zone. Picked off by Erik Johnson as he moves it along the boards. Logan O'Connor moves it out and clears it. 13 seconds. Now 10 left in the power play. 10 seconds, 7 seconds left now here. 5 seconds now. Here comes Duncan Keith moving it up. We'll clear it into the zone. Now to McLeod with a slap shot by Foegele. Save by Francouz. Now Nichushkin with it as he'll move it to Erik Johnson as they'll get ready to move it out of the zone. Johnson with it to Taves as he cleared it into the zone. No icing there. Lehkonen giving chase to it with Keith and Barrie behind the net. He comes up with it. Lehkonen back out to the blue line, and McKinnon tripped, and he was gonna and whiffed at it. Was gonna get it for a nice slap shot, but whiffed on it. Now the Avalanche trying to work it out of the neutral zone. Will flip it up and over into the Oilers zone as Cody Ceci gives chase with it now to Tyson Barrie on the left side as they try to clear it out. Avs trying to keep it in now. Jack Johnson, but it will be out of the zone. Now Bowen Byram with it now. 7 minutes officially left to go. Byram back over to Jack Johnson. Johnson with it now in the Avalanche own zone now as he just fires it over to the neutral zone and being cleared, but it'll be whistled for an offside. 10-9 are the shots here. 6:50 left here in the first period. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up towards the intermission here, I'll have a very special guest joining us here for breakdown of the first period and more here with 1 minute remaining. Please note that that'll happen. I'll have a very special guest joining us here. $6.50 now. Left here in the first period here. Face off now, puck down, and the Oilers will have it here. Vander Kane with it in their own zone, trying to bring it out. We'll leave it behind here for Draisaitl. Draisaitl being cut off by Mikko Rantanen, and we'll get it back to Kane. Over to Nurse. Nurse will clear it over the line with a shot saved by Francouz. Turned around there and it pushed out of the zone. 10-10 now shots. Russell has it now, trying to bring it up out of the zone here for the Oilers. We'll move it along to Puljujarvi. Puljujarvi will clear it into the zone, into the Avalanche zone, but it'll be cut off by Taves behind the net. Taves works it back and around to Burakovsky. Burakovsky works it ahead. Back over to Nichushkin as he clears it into the Oilers zone. Mike Smith will meet it behind the net as it looked like McKinnon was going to give chase to it, but didn't. Now back for Darnell Nurse. Nurse will work it up to Draisaitl as he works it into the Avalanche zone. Now behind the net here will be cut off by Erik Johnson and moved along the boards and up out of the Avalanche zone as trying to get a pass across, but Nathan McKinnon now picks off Cody Ceci, leaves it behind here for Gabriel Landeskog. Landeskog in the slot for Lehkonen, tipped off the puck and moved along now here. Now back over for Lehkonen in front. It'll be tipped off and out of play. There, it will go out of play. 5:41 left. Shots are even at 10 apiece, ladies and gentlemen. 5:41 left in the first period. You're listening to Game 4 of the Western Conference Final here on the Case by Case Sports Show. We will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 5:41 left here in the first period. Puck down now, and the Avalanche will have it as they chase it back into their own zone here. Josh Manson will get it out to Eric Johnson. He'll move it along the boards here. Moving it into the Oilers zone, it'll be whistled as it was not touched, going all the way down to the other end of the ice. 5:31 left. 1-0 Avalanche on a Cale Makar goal here. Avalanche coming out playing amazing defense here tonight. Here we go. 5:31 left. Face-off coming to the near the Avalanche net here. Rantanen and Draisaitl as the puck's down now, and the Oilers try to win it, but it's being fought for and contested by the Avalanche as it gets worked out of the Avalanche zone by Lehkonen. Now here it'll be Gulak giving it over to CC. CC right here will get it and flip it into the Avalanche zone. Giving chase to it is Josh Manson, though, to cut it off and will move it back out of the zone, but being kept in by Fogle. Fogle trying to wind up a slap shot. Now with the slap shot by Gulak, and it's deflected way too wide out in traffic. Now Nichushkin with it through the neutral zone. Now over to the Oilers zone as Nichushkin with it, giving chase with it to Cody Ceci. Being cut off now by Leon Draisaitl, though, as it gets worked out of the Oilers zone into the neutral zone. Being contested by the Avalanche, though, and ultimately Taves will come up with it here and move it over to Cale Makar. Makar with it now in his own zone, trying to work it over his blue line. Now we'll get it to Taves. Taves works it along the board and will dump it and flick it up into the Oilers zone as Mike Smith will cover it up as he catches and snatches it out of the air. 10-10 shots are even. What's going on, Cincinnati crew? How are you? Thank you for joining in. Double Shot Jake, thank you so much for tuning in as well, right here on the Case by Case Sports Show. 1 minute to go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll bring in our special guest here. Give first period analysis and go on to a little bit of an intermission report. As now Darren Helm will come to the face-off here with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to the left of the Oilers net. Puck down now. Oilers will win the draw, and Keith comes up with it behind the net and will just shove it out of the zone. Trying to be worked on here by Archibald. It'll get back for Bouchard. Bouchard with it behind the net now as he waits for the line change and to get it set up here. Here's Bouchard as he works it around the boards on the right side. Now being brought over by Ryan here with Hyman. Now to Nugent-Hopkins with a shot. Saved by Francouz. And now being fought for by Eric Johnson and Hyman around the boards. Cassian get it in there, laying in a hit, but it'll be worked back around now to Bouchard, but being poked away. And Logan O'Connor will be called. There'll be a whistle, and the Avalanche will be called for a triple B. Eric Johnson. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be maybe hooking or a holding call on Eric Johnson. Nonetheless, it's a 2-minute minor. Oilers will go on the power play for 2 minutes. Two minutes here, 4 minutes even. So it'll be McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, Draisaitl, Bouchard, and Hyman out on the ice for the Oilers here. Face off to the left of the Avalanche net. Puck down, and the Oilers coming with it here. Bouchard walking the blue line with a shot through the lane, saved and knocked down. Now Draisaitl working it back out to Bouchard. Bouchard with it, gives over to Draisaitl with a shot, saved by Francouz as it's kicked behind the net. And now the So Francouz will get his mask together. Here the shots are 13-10. Pavel Francouz has been on tonight. He has been a stone wall for the Avalanche in net. Go face-off will be to the left face-off circle of the Avalanche net here. Darcy Kemper back on the bench. That's a positive sign as the as there was a false start on the face-off here. We Draisaitl and Helm here for the face-off now. Here we go now. Puck down, and the Oilers will fight for it and come up with it as Nugent Hopkins pushes out to Bouchard. Back over to McDavid. Oh, the left faceoff circle back for Bouchard. In the lane with a shot, and it's deflected wide, left off the net. Being fought for behind the net by Makar as he gets it, and he'll push it out to Cogliano. Cogliano works it over the blue line of the Oilers zone with a shot quick on Smith, and he'll cover it up there as now the Avalanche will get a faceoff in the Oilers zone. 3:24 left. Here we go now. Face-off coming to the right of the Oilers net here as the puck's down, and the Oilers will grab it. Now here will be Gulak. Here's he tries to move it along. And now McDavid now with it will move it over the blue line into the Avalanche zone. Now Draisaitl as he's poked away though by Logan O'Connor, giving chase to it over the blue line. Here's O'Connor with it, a shot save by Smith. Oh man, what a good shorthanded chance by Logan O'Connor. Unbelievable. (13-12) the shots. O'Connor poked that away, gave chase to it, and tried to give it a shot. Mike Smith just simply gloved it there. 3:06 now. As the puck's down now, and the Oilers will have it here off the faceoff near the Oilers zone. Barry trying to clear it out of his own zone. Will leave it behind for Draisaitl. Draisaitl stops back and will give it to McDavid as he clears it over the blue line here. Now being worked and pucked away by Helm. Here comes Helm over the blue line in the zone with a slap shot save. And it'll be covered up by Smith as Helm tried to chase after it more, and Barry tried to knock him off. Trying to get out in front of it. 2:47 left. Excuse me. Woo. Getting a little tense here. .47 seconds left on the power play here. It'll be O'Connor and Bouchard here for the face-off here to the left of the Oilers net as the puck's down and the Oilers win it. Now Duncan Keith will come up with it behind the Oilers net. Here comes Keith out of our own blue line. We'll work it into the Avalanche zone. It'll be picked up by Josh Manson and moved out of the Avalanche zone. Given chase to it is Nathan McKinnon, O'Connor as he picks it off from Smith. O'Connor with it from behind the zone, and we'll move it back over to the Jack Johnson here. Jack Johnson will give it over to Josh Manson as he clears it out of the zone here. Avalanche trying to keep away with the Oilers here as McLeod comes over and clears over the Avalanche zone, being cut off by Manson behind the net. Manson with it now as he gets it, and will give it over to Nichushkin. Nichushkin over the blue line of the Oilers zone with a shot. It went deflected right wide of the net, but gets his own rebound though. Avalanche playing keep away so good here now as Fogle comes up with it. Tries to move it over the line, but gets poke checked away, and the Avalanche will retain possession with it here. Now coming to Byram. Byram with it over the neutral zone into the Avalanche zone. We'll clear it over here for Mikko Rantanen. Now we're for Andre Burakovsky. Burakovsky with it now, trying to get it to Lehkonen with a shot. Pushed away, trying to get out, loose puck and rebound by Burakovsky. Burakovsky has it with a shot, being shot, rebounded, save again by Mike Smith, and knocked out of the Oilers out of their own zone here. Now with it now is Devon Taves as he comes up behind his own net here. Here's Taves with it as he moves it along into the Oilers zone. Being picked off now. Here comes Connor McDavid in with it with the shot, but it's deflected off the skate there of the Avalanche. Here comes now Cody Ceci working it around here, ladies and gentlemen, with 1 minute left. We are almost about here for the conclusion of this first period. Now here's Cody Ceci with it. As the penalty expires and it comes here now to Leon Draisaitl, back out to Bouchard here, over to McDavid, now to Draisaitl here, trying with a shot, but it's blocked off. Ceci has it now, out in front of the net. Hyman with the shot, and it's deflected wide up and out of play. Here for the Avalanche. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 45 seconds left here. I want to welcome in my special guest. Here for some first period breakdown and analysis, it's Bronco Bill. Bronco Bill, how are you doing today, my good sir? You there, Bronco Bill?
Oh, hey! I didn't know we were in a commercial. I'm sorry. I'm watching the
Can
live
you hear
one.
me?
And you're like, yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh no, here face off coming here now.
You can't hear me.
As the puck's down now, and the Avalanche have it retained here to Logan O'Connor as he gets it and flips it out. Now Cogliano giving chase to it with a shot. It's saved here. Helm has it still out in front of the net. Here's Helm coming and working it behind the net. Here with Cogliano here. As Cogliano tries to work it around. Back over from Makar. Makar with the attacking shot save. Out rebound front pushed away. The Avalanche will come back with it here in the neutral zone. Here comes Johnson now cleared it into the zone. And Smith will cut it off behind the net though. We'll give it back out here to Russell. Russell here, now 13 seconds left in the period. Now for Gulak as he moves it along, here to Russell again. Russell with it, over to Gulak again as he just dumps it into the Avalanche zone. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is the end of the first period, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, Bronco Bill, how are you doing today?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
I don't know if you can
sorry
hear me.
about that. Sorry about that mute. Can you hear me?
Hold on 1 second, Bill. Hold on. We can't hear you for some reason. I don't know why. What is going on here? Let's see here. I wonder what's going on. Wonder if it's anything on my end. That's exactly why.
Why?
There we go. No, that's not it. There we go. Now I can hear you, Bronco Bill. How's it going?
Going good, man. Going good. Thanks a lot for the invite. Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bronco Bill here to give us a little bit of an intermission report here and help break down the first period for us. Bill, what did you see here in the first period from the Avalanche specifically?
3 things I did not like and 3 things I did like. First of the 3 I did not like was the fact that, again, the line changed. They need to stop. Sure, there wasn't a goal given up, but they had chances. The second thing I don't like, they're giving up lanes. I mean, in between the circles, they're giving up lane shots. And that is going to come back to haunt them if they don't get that corrected. The third thing I don't like is, oh my gosh, Francos is getting peppered and pounded, and the puck is laying right there. And if it wasn't for the defense of the Avalanche to clear it away and Francos to basically be in the zone tonight, to me, those are the 3 things I don't like. What do you think about the things you liked or didn't like?
Well, the things I definitely like is that the Avalanche are playing a really strong defensive game. And that was one of the biggest keys coming in tonight that, basically everybody was saying that the Avs need to close out this series is play defense really strong. They have been now, like you said, they've been giving up the lane way too much. I feel like they've just been giving Bouchard all day long to shoot through the slot from about the blue line or even a little bit closer in, about 3 or 4 feet in from the blue line as well. I don't like that as well. I think the Avalanche need to tighten that up, and I think they realize that too. But obviously, man, what a difference having Andrei Burakovsky and Abe Kubel back tonight. Those were huge gains for the Avalanche.
Absolutely. And going to what you asked about what I liked, I'll tell you what, is Cale Makar on another planet in these playoffs? I mean, this kid is on another planet.
Bo Byram too. Bo Byram has elevated his game like no other.
Right.
No other. And it's been absolutely insane. I mean, and I gotta say though, ever since McKinnon's goal, what was that, game 2? He's been kind of silent lately. So is Landeskog. I mean, like I said, defensively on the defensive side, the Avalanche are doing what they need to do. But as far as their big names really getting, besides Makar, their big names getting the goals, that just has been kind of non-existent in this round completely.
But that's what I love about this team. Their depth is so strong that if McKinnon or any Bo Byram or anybody else has off nights or off games or even off series, there's other players to pick it up, like a Cale Makar or JT Comfort I mean, that's what I love about this team is, and you see it tonight. They're hitting, they're skating, they're chasing the puck. They're taking it to Edmonton for sure.
Well, yeah, and I mean, what a difference Evander Kane not being in this lineup, how much of a difference that makes for the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, they just look lethargic without him.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. They look like a 10 times slower team. Even when McDavid and Draisaitl are rushing into the zone, they still look slower. Like it was a really true 3-man attack there with Kane, Draisaitl, and McDavid all coming in and closing in. Darnell Nurse really hasn't been on his game tonight as well, which is really concerning for the Oilers. Like you need guys like that, especially in your bottom, your mid to bottom 9 to really step it up when a guy like Evander Kane goes down. Because you wouldn't have thought that Nazem Kadri's out because the Avalanche are playing seamlessly without him. Mm-hmm. Everybody was so worried about that. They're like, man, that's such a huge loss to the Avalanche. I said, man,
well, it is.
Well, but I said it on Twitter yesterday, Bill. I don't think we as Avalanche fans really realize how deep this team is. Like this team is deep. I think we forget that all the time. And we're just so traumatically stricken from the last 3 years in a row that we just go into panic mode immediately because it is a lot like what happened in 2020 when we were down to our fourth string goalie in the second round and we were like 1 win away from the Western Conference Finals, weren't we, with the Dallas Stars?
Yep.
So, and I mean, yes, the memory comes back obviously, but this is a different team, though. We have guys that we didn't have. We have Arturi Lehkonen. We have Josh Manson. We have Darren Helm. Those guys, those few deadline trades close towards the end of the season really made the difference here in the postseason.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, if Joe Sakic isn't GM of the league this year, there's something wrong.
Yeah, no kidding, because everybody. Of course, there were expectations put on this Avalanche team before the season ever began, but there was always those looming questions as well. It's like, do they have what it takes to get past the second round? Can they get over their demons? Can they get the monkey off their back? And they have more than done that. They've done what like the Edmonton Oilers did between the first and second round. They got the monkey off their back and they're just coasting free. They really are. It's almost seamless. I mean, the Avalanche, I know there's been a few concerning giving up the lane here and there, but like for the most part, they've been playing lockdown, shutdown defense for the most part, and it's been really, really crazy. And I'm just, wow, what a first period though. Makar comes up with it, and just much like you've been saying, the Avalanche, the Oilers gave him the slot, and he just wristed. He didn't even slap shot; he wristed it through the lane and got it past Mike Smith.
It could have been 2-0. We hit the corner of the right corner.
Yeah, Darren Helm did. Yeah, that's right.
And ricocheted out. There's been so many chances. So we're going to head into second period. I don't mean to steal your thunder because this is your show. But going into the second period, what do the Avalanche have to do to maintain and or get another goal to kind of not ease, because I don't want to say that word, but to feel more comfortable? What do they have to do in the second period? This is their period all year long.
It's very simple, Bill. They got to keep attacking offensively. They can't stop doing that. We can't go into prevent. We can't do that at all. And, also as well, they need to tighten, like you said, they need to tighten up the slot in their own zone. They need to tighten it up. And, they need to, as far as everything else goes, like they're doing amazing on. Francouz is doing amazing. He's on his game. He's like, top shape. I don't know if you saw this either, Bill. Darcy Kemper is back on the bench.
Yep.
So, that's a positive sign. Mm-hmm. I think Jared Bednar is going to rest him as long as he can. And until, given if we do win tonight, move on to the second round, I think rest is the key thing for Darcy Kemper.
Well, absolutely, because we don't know how long the Eastern Conference is going to go. We could have 4 or 5 days rest with Kemper.
Well, you could have 8.
Yeah, well,
we could have 8, and everybody panics about that. But I'd like to remind everybody, between rounds number 1 and 2, between the Nashville and St. Louis, we had 8 days of rest too. Yes, the Avalanche came out. Well, we did win game 1 in overtime, so we did come out with a win. I mean, game 2 was a bit sloppy, but we ultimately picked it up. I mean, I don't want to say this, but after obviously the Bennington injury, it went, it kind of went our way a little bit more. But the Avalanche, it's just like Gabe Landeskog said. I'd much rather be rusty than anything else. I'd much rather be well rested and worried about the rust than having to worry about being too exhausted.
Right.
And I think that's actually worked to the Avalanche's advantage in the playoffs. I really has. The rest has really, in my opinion, worked to the advantage of the Avalanche.
All right, got a question for you. I've been thinking about this. If the Avalanche win tonight, we sweep, obviously. Do you start a healthy Kemper or do you stay with the hot hand? I say personally, stay with the hot hand because you got an ace in the hole.
Well, see, that's what everybody else thinks. They think they're going to start Francouz until he proves otherwise, and then put Kemper in there. I mean, maybe you do. I don't know, because the thing with Francouz is that he's been awfully streaky. That's the thing. He'll go 9-1 over a stretch of 10 games. He's done that. This season before the injuries really kind of took over with him last year. So he definitely shows you he's got stretches in him. Maybe you do ride it. I don't know. That's going to be totally up to Jared Bednar. But if it were to me, I would go with Darcy Kemper, quite honestly, if he's 100% and he's healthy. I mean, you go with what got you to the dance, and Kemper certainly did. He carried the bag for most of the season. So,
right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who scores? Who scores the next goal? Who's the person that scores it?
I think it's going to be Devon Taves. I do. I think Devon Taves will come up and score one here in the next period. He's looking like he's really on it tonight, and he really wants to. He's putting himself somewhat in the zone to get him a goal. He's put himself in position to do that.
How about a Burakovsky goal?
That would be amazing. That would
back
be
after injury.
Yeah, that'd be a hell of a statement. Quite honestly, that really would be. And I would like to see Andrei Burakovsky get a goal. Or maybe just even Kubel get assists.
Right.
Just something here. But I'd like to see. I'd like to see. And then the Avalanche, obviously, they let 2 power plays in the first period. Granted, they killed them both, but they need to be a little bit more disciplined. Especially with their sticks, because both of those penalties were stick infractions.
Right.
Holding the stick, high sticking, those were both stick infractions there. So they need to mind their P's and Q's and mind their sticks as well.
I love it. I loved it, I should say, when McKinnon took that shot by the net to the right side of Francouz, and he staggered back and went down. The announcers, as well as yourself, said that McKinnon just got up and went away. He's checking himself. He's not going to engage in anything because he knows what this means.
Absolutely. Yep. Nope. None of them are. This team is staying well disciplined in that aspect as well. So,
I wonder how hard that is. I mean, all year long you're playing.
It's extremely hard, especially when we know what guys like Landeskog are capable of that have been, fighting this season. Obviously, we have yet to see from Curtis McDermott. He hasn't been addressed at all this whole entire playoffs. And I don't think Jared Bednar necessarily wants to play that way either. I think he wants to play the Colorado Avalanche brand of hockey that we all know that they can play, that we all know that they're capable of playing up to. So,
if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Absolutely. And with that being said, Bill, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna bid you adieu until 1 minute to go here in the second period. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna step aside here, take a short little break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with the second period right after this. It's Game 4 of the Western Conference Final here on the Case by Case Sports Show. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready here to start period number 2. Let's bring in back our scoreboard. Avalanche lead at 1-0 here. Look to keep the pressure on here in the second period. Here we go. Avalanche back on the ice. Focused. Focus is the most important thing. I want Avs fans to realize it. The Avalanche are completely focused. They want to put this series away here tonight. Both teams commencing here to center ice as we get ready for the face-off. Here getting ready to start the second period. McKinnon and McDavid here with the face-off. Puck is down and the Oilers will have it here. They try to work it along and into the Avalanche zone as it'll roll down here. Puljujärvi getting chased with it here with Devon Taves. Taves with it now, it's being stuck in his skate now, trying to be worked around. Here's Leon Draisaitl, tries to kick it out. He will. Battling here with Cale Makar. Makar with it will work it around back over towards the blue line for Nichushkin. Trying to get it out now is to Gabriel Landeskog with it, moves into the Oilers zone. Now we'll drop it back for Devon Taves with a shot. Saved by Mike Smith. Now Landeskog with it, work it back around to the boards. Now we'll get out to the blue line. Now it's a Makar here on the right side. Here's Makar with it. We'll work it into Rantanen with the shot. It's blocked way before it even hits the net. Now Rantanen gets his rebound now. Working it back around to the left side of the net. It'll be trying to get it back out to the blue line, but picked off by Draisaitl. Draisaitl with it over the blue line into the Avalanche zone. Tries to get it across ice, but it'll be back out of the zone. Picked up here by Lehkonen. Lehkonen over the blue line into the Oilers zone. Here's Lehkonen now with the backhand shot, and it's saved by Smith there. Gulak trying to come up with it. Picked off by Burakovsky. We'll get it over here to Eric Johnson out on the blue line. Here's Eric Johnson. Cuts back over towards the blue line here. Johnson with it now. We'll get it out to Bo Byram. Byram with it with a shot. Deflected right wide, right off the net, and Draisaitl will get it and flip it out of the zone. Being contested by Rantanen. Now McLeod got it now. McLeod with it will get picked off by Lehkonen. Lehkonen will move it along the boards and up out of the Avalanche zone, back over for the Oilers. It'll be whistled for a icing. So 17-12 are the shots. Here, thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here live on the Case by Case Sports Show. 18:28 left here. Oh, Leon Draisaitl still obviously hurting from the other night. It'll be 18:30 officially. I'll run the clock when it gets in sync. 17-12 are the shots. Puck down here. And now the Oilers will get it now, trying to keep it into the Avalanche zone. Turnaround shot by Foegele, saved by Francouz. He rattled the far side post. Now being worked along by Foegele here as it gets worked over by here to Ryan. Ryan back with Foegele behind the net. Foegele with it, trying to turn around, but blocked with a shot by Byram. Now McLeod with it now. Retains it, gets it back out to the blue line with the shot. It went deflected white ride. Now Foegele trying to wrap it around the net. So he's shoved hard by Bo Byram out in front of the net. Here's Foegele now in the left faceoff circle beam. Bo Byram is just battling him so hard. What a defensive display by Bo Byram on that little series there. Manson will work it along. It'll be cleared out of the Avalanche zone. Now coming with it here is Burakovsky. 2-on-1 to Burakovsky with it, but it gets caught up in the skates of Gulak. Now the Avalanche still have it. We'll work it back around to the blue line. Now coming with it here is Compher with the shot, and it went right wide of the net here. Now coming over is Abe Kubel here in the right corner. Abe Kubel with it, working it over to the net, and it'll be poked away and gloved up there by Mike Smith as they'll hold on for the faceoff. 17:25 left here in the second period. Kulak trying to just gets it caught up in the skate as it was a 2-on-1 with Burakovsky and Rantanen. Faceoff will be to the right of the Oilers net here. Shots are 18-12 as it'll be Compher and I believe McDavid. Here the puck down now, and the Kubel has it with a shot, saved by Smith as he had to angle it a little bit weird to hold on to it in his blocker. Great draw by Abe Kubel there. I'm sorry, by Compher, and Abe Kubel comes up with it. What a step-up standard job has JT Compher done for the Colorado Avalanche. Now here's Compher here with the face-off here with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, but he's kicked out of the face-off, and Zach Hyman will step in. Now here, puck down, and the Oilers have it as Hyman shoves it back for Duncan Keith. Keith working it around the boards, and so does Bouchard about trying to get it out of their own zone, but it'll be intercepted by Abe Kubel as he flips it back into the right side as Keith tries to clear it out and does out of the Oilers zone. Now Comfort with it will flip it back into the Oilers zone. Giving chase to it is Duncan Keith, but Mike Smith will cut it off, get it out to Bouchard there as it'll be contested by the Avalanche. Jack Johnson now to Abe Kubel. Kubel trying to stick lift it away from Duncan Keith, but he will come up with it. Now to Bouchard, out to Cassian. Trying to work it as it's picked off here by Alexander Newhook. Worked by JT Comfort. Newhook in front of the net. Shot save. Knocked away by Bouchard there, but it's knocked off the puck. Kubel trying to get it back, but I don't think Newhook realized it as he went into the bench. Now Hyman with it, giving chase to it, but it'll be poked away there by Francouz. Here's O'Connor with it. Over the blue line with a shot, and it went wide and up out of play. .2012 are the shots. Second period here, 16:28 left. Thank you, everybody, for joining in and watching Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals here on the Case by Case Sports Show. Faceoff will be to the right of the Oilers net here. It'll be Darren Helm here with it, with the puck down now. Helm will get it with the draw. Manson with the shot. It went wide left of the net. It'll be wrapped around. Bowen Byram trying to keep it in as he dumps it back in, being cut off there by Darnell Nurse. Now Russell with it, fighting with it with Logan O'Connor as they wrap it back around to the right side of the boards here. Here comes Malone now with a hard check on Manson as he meets him. Now fighting for it now has Darren Helm with it. Avalanche not really giving exception. Now Helm with a turnaround shot, saved and gloved and covered up by Mike Smith as Logan O'Connor, and Russell will be pushing and shoving out in front of the net. Avalanche doing a really good job of staying disciplined and not taking exception to any type of physicality that the Edmonton Oilers are offering. Not bothering with it, not even engaging in it. It's amazing. Faceoff will be to the right of the Oilers net here. It'll be Nathan McKinnon and Connor McDavid, I presume. Here, right face-off circle near the Oilers net. Avalanche doing an amazing job here. It'll be McLeod here and McKinnon as the puck's down. The Oilers will have it. We'll try to flip it up out of their zone. Kept in by McKinnon as he wraps it around to the left side of the ice here. Nichushkin giving chase for it as he tries to cut it off, but it'll be moved out of the Oilers zone. Landeskog gets it, dumps it back into the Oilers zone. It's moving around to the right side as Kulak comes back for it. Here's Kulak now, trying to bring it up out of their own zone. Kulak with it now. Gets it and dumps it around into the Avalanche zone, being cut off by Eric Johnson as he tries to tip it up and away, knocked down by Landeskog and knocked out of the Oilers zone. Here comes Kulak now, giving chase to it, back down over by his own net. Kulak now with it. Moves it along the boards as it's tipped up and by Fogle, but it's being contested, being almost picked off, but it'll be knocked over into the neutral zone by the Oilers again. Byram giving it to O'Connor as he flips it clears it to the Oilers zone as Rantanen tried to give chase to it, but it'll be cut off by Kulak. Kulak now with it behind the net. Kulak with it, trying to bring it out now for Duncan Keith. Back to Kulak. Kulak with it will just slap it around the boards here as it gets, but it'll be blocked out. Now Nichushkin with it over the blue line, tripping up McKinnon though as it's knocked away and out of the Oilers zone. Here's Draisaitl with it now. Gives it over to McDavid as he's crushed going into the blue line. No call. Oilers fans booing it as Zach Hyman has the puck now. Hyman with it back over to Kulak. The Oilers cannot clear it into the Avalanche zone. They've tried 4 different times. 21-12 the shots. Now the Oilers here trying to clear it back. Now McDavid dumping it into the Avalanche zone. It's being knocked out and contested. Now being contested and knocked out of the Oilers zone. Now into the neutral zone. Here's Darnell Nurse with it, trying to clear it in as it's knocked down again. Back over down into the Oilers zone. Mike Smith with it, giving play to it. Draisaitl visibly just hurt. He is stiff. Puljujarvi has left the bench too. He went back into the locker room here. And now here comes JT Comfort with it over the blue line as he dumps it in and clears it into the Oilers zone. Mike Smith with it behind the net, giving play to it to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Here's Hopkins with it through the neutral zone over the blue line. Now is McLeod with the shot. Save put on by Francouz here as now the Avalanche try to clear it out. Nugent-Hopkins dumps it back behind the net. Being cut off, though. Now with a shot, trying to get it as it's picked off by Comfort. Here comes now Abe Kubel with it. Over the blue line, clears it into the Oilers zone. Here's Kubel with it, giving chase to it behind the net as it's cut off by the Oilers. Now the Oilers trying to dump it around, and it looks like Manson will try to poke it back. Now here comes Helm. Darren Helm over with it to Cogliano. Cogliano with it over in the right side corner. Back over to Helm behind the net. Here's Helm with it. Avalanche acting like they're on the power play here. Here's Johnson with it, with a shot save and gloved by Smith here, and ultimately covered up for a shot. 21-13 are the shots here. Avalanche playing outstanding defense here. Pugliarvi went back to the locker room for a medical evaluation. 13:20 left here in the second period. You're listening to Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals here on the Case by Case Sports Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 13:20 left here in the second period. Avalanche dominating in their own zone, taking this game completely over. Here in the Western Conference Finals, Game 4. Faceoff will be to the right of the Oilers' net. It'll be Helm here with it as he's kicked out of the faceoff. Logan O'Connor will get it here with will be with Malone here. And now Malone will be kicked out of the face-off here. And will step in will be Ryan. So Ryan and O'Connor here for the face-off here. Puck down as the Oilers will win it here. And Duncan Keith will get it. Try to dump it around with a hard hit laid there by Darren Helm here. As now the Oilers trying to get it out of their zone. It'll be picked up by Darren Helm. Moved into the zone as the Oilers try to retaliate with the hit of their own. Cut off by Mike Smith. Being worked around, but trying to be kept in, and it will be by Eric Johnson as he tries to dump it back in. Knocked down here by Ryan, and with it all in his own, with a shot that went high. Saved by Francouz. Bouchard working it back around to Ryan here. Ryan with it being heavily contested as now Fogle tries to get it, and is being cut off by Johnson as he just takes it away from him and dumps it out of the Avalanche zone. Being worked upon with being worked forward by O'Connor here. Now the Oilers repossess it. Here's McDavid over the blue line. McDavid in with the spin around with the turnaround shot, and it poked away by the Avalanche in front of the net. Worked out of the zone here now. Here comes Darnell Nurse as he tries to work it over to Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl over the blue line here with a shot score. Zach Hyman. Avalanche getting a little bit too comfortable there. Letting off the gas. The Oilers score. It is now 1-1. Right off the turnover, Draisaitl to Hyman as he puts it up top shelf with a backhand over Pavel Francouz. This game is tied. Hyman with the assist by Draisaitl. With now puck down, and Avalanche will get it back into their zone. Devon Taves getting chased with it. Now Cale Makar will work it back around here. Being cut off here by the Oilers here as they work it back around. Here's Cassian. Cassian working it back over to McLeod, tries to put it out in front of the net, but it'll be intercepted by Val Nichushkin. Nichushkin trying to work it around, and he will. Nichushkin working it around. Now Gabriel Landeskog giving chase to Cassian, and now here goes Landeskog and Cassian. Cassian dives on top of Landeskog. Landeskog was visibly hurt. Oh no, this is not good. Gabriel Landeskog is down on the ice, and he's not getting back up. As Cassian, I think Landeskog's going to get called for boarding, but Landeskog is shooken up. He's hurt bad. This is not good. Not good at all. Landeskog on his knees, on all fours here on the ice. Cassian being pulled away. This is not good. Not good at all, ladies and gentlemen. Landeskog trying to get up. He's up. He's up. Landeskog is up. He's going to skate to the penalty box on his own accord. Him and Cassian were going over to the left corner here. And Landeskog tried to take down Cassian. He was trying to bump him off the puck. It looks like his knee gave out. Hopefully it's not the one that was surgically repaired. It's gonna be a double minor here. Let's see. Let's see here what's gonna happen here. I don't know what the referees are gonna rule. So Landeskog is not gonna go to the box. So it will be a 2-minute minor here for the Oilers. They'll go on the power play as Landeskog gets called for a minor for holding. So 2-minute minor here. This will be 11:54 left here. Oilers on the power play here. It'll be Zach Hyman with it. Landeskog is okay. He seems to be okay. Now Draisaitl with it. Now as the Oilers win the faceoff. Back out here to Bouchard with the howitzer slap shot, and it went blocked off there by Cogliano. Moved out of the Avalanche zone here. Here comes Bouchard again. Leaving it behind for McDavid. McDavid through the neutral zone. Over the blue line. Clearing it in. Leaves it behind for Nugent Hopkins. Hopkins here with it. We'll kick it back over the blue line to Bouchard. Bouchard with it to Nugent Hopkins. Over to McDavid. McDavid here. Coming back over in front of the net. McDavid here. We're skating circles around. Trying to get it out to Draisaitl here. Leaves it back to the blue line. Now back over to Draisaitl. Draisaitl with it on the right side here. Here's Draisaitl with it to the Bouchard out here on the point. Bouchard with it back over to Draisaitl here. Draisaitl with it back to Bouchard with the howitzer slap shot fired, and it went wide of the net. Now back over to Bouchard, back over to Draisaitl. Draisaitl with it with a shot in the lane, and it's mucked up and knocked wide of the net. Now back over to Draisaitl here on the right side. Here's Draisaitl working it along to McDavid. McDavid here now behind the net, working it back around to the right side again. Here's McDavid out in front. Over to the right face-off circle. We'll get it over to Draisaitl. Avalanche doing a good job of cutting off the net. Now to Nugent Hopkins. Back to Draisaitl. To Bouchard. Howitzer slap shot again. Saved by Francouz. Knocked out away. Here's Draisaitl here. Now out to Bouchard here. Broken stick on Cogliano. Has no stick. Bouchard trying to get it over to Draisaitl. Back over it. It's poked away. Not out of the zone. Kept in here, though, by McDavid. McDavid weaving through with a shot. It's blocked away. Turned out of the Avalanche zone. 17 seconds left here on the power play. Here now being worked, and it'll be called offside. 12 seconds left here on the power play. I'll change that here. So the Oilers are still actively on the power play here. Yeah, I agree. I think Cassian should have got a penalty as well. It should have been a double minor, and it wasn't. Nonetheless, great teams don't complain. We just overcome, and there's only 12 seconds left here on this power play. 10:06 left officially. Face-off coming to the right. Face-off Muted. I'm not muted anymore. Sorry about that. 8:57 left here in the second period. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals here on the Case by Case Sports Show. We will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 8:57 remaining here. Game 4, the Western Conference Finals. We're all knotted up at 1 here. Oilers get back in it with a goal here as they climb back in with a power play goal by Zach Hyman. Even though we are back at full strength here. Now Mike Smith went over to the bench here. I'm not sure what was going on, if he's maybe having equipment issues or he's having an injury issue. I'm not entirely sure. Looks to be something there with his vision as the puck's down now, and the Oilers have it as they move it along into the Avalanche zone. Being cut off by Pavel Francouz as Josh Manson tries to move it out of the zone. He will to go all the way down to the other end and be waved off with the icing here as Lehkonen gives chase to it. Arturi Lehkonen with it, puts it back behind the net. Now for Burakovsky, he's battling with it with Rantanen. Burakovsky now with it. Now Rantanen trying to work it back over to the blue line. It's contested by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Burakovsky comes over to Jack Johnson to help him out. Now worked along to the net. Smith cuts it off. We'll get it over to Kulak as he tries to push it out of the zone, being kept in by the Avalanche. Here's Abe Kubel. Abe Kubel with it in the Oilers zone. Now over to JT Compher. Compher with it on the left side. Compher with it, trying to work it out. He does over the blue line. Here comes Compher the slot with a pass shot save there by Makar as he tried to get one in on the left side, being kept in by Manson. Now over to Makar. Makar here now with a shot in the lane, blocked out. Rebound Compher, and it's out in front of the net with a save there by Mike Smith now as it's worked out of the zone by McLeod, being kept in by Compher. Avalanche, no quit in them here in this third line as it's being worked here by Kulak. Kulak now will leave it over for Barry as he clears it out into the Avalanche zone, but the Avalanche knock it back out of the zone. Now the Oilers will get it over to the Avalanche zone, but be cut off by Cale Makar. Makar with it now here. Trying to work it out of their own zone. Now gives it out to Devon Taves. Taves with it. We'll get it and slap it into the Oilers zone. Cut off by Mike Smith. Behind the net, here comes Landeskog. He's trying to pick it off. Being battled with by Darnell Nurse. Now Landeskog comes out with it, pushing it out to the blue line. McKinnon with it, trying to work it over for Makar. Gets it here, and he had a chance, but did not take a shot. Now Landeskog with it behind the net. Landeskog cuts back over towards the net. Here's Landeskog with it out in front, trying to get it out, but it's picked up by the Oilers. Here comes McDavid through the neutral zone. Coming back over. We'll get over to Hyman here. Hyman with it, going around behind the net, being cut off by McKinnon. Now McDavid with it, back over to Draisaitl here on the left side. Being worked back around to McDavid and back around over to the right side to Darnell Nurse. Nurse getting hit hard around the boards as he gives it back to McKinnon. McKinnon with a slap shot by Hyman. It went off the post, but a save by Francouz ultimately. Now being worked out of the Avalanche zone as it does, and it'll be over to the other side. Mike Smith will come and play it. Here comes Darnell Nurse now, trying to work it out of his own zone. He'll cut back over the net, over towards the net now, as he'll dump it back over. McLeod gives it a good slap out of the zone. Now being cleared into the zone by Malone. Now being cut off by Eric Johnson behind the own Avalanche net. Johnson now with it over to Rantanen as he works it along the boards. Here comes Lehkonen hard as he tries to contest it. But here comes now Cassian with it. Cassian over the blue line gets it cleared now for Foegele. Being hit hard by Eric Johnson now as the Avalanche, as the Oilers possess it, and Cassian behind the bench as he works out the blue line. Bouchard with a slap shot. It gets blocked in the lane before it ever reaches the net. No. Foegele with it now, leaving it for Draisaitl. Now back over for Cassian. Cassian with it now. Cassian trying to get it. I'm sorry, that was Malone, not Draisaitl. Now Malone has it in the right-hand side. Now over to Foegele behind the net. Here's Foegele with it out in front of the net with a shot. Save! What a blocker save by Pavel Francouz. Now with a shot again, saved by Francouz. Covered up. Unbelievable. Pavel Francouz has been playing lights out. You can't blame him for the one goal he gave up. Unbelievable. 5:39 left here in the second period. Pavel Francouz, I can't be mad at him. He's only given up one goal. On the other side, so is Mike Smith. Avalanche need to pick it up offensively. They need to pick it up offensively. They do. They need to pick it up offensively. Let's see. Broncos breakdown. The TV pissing me off. They want the Oilers to win this game. Maybe they get paid by the game called. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know about that. Who does have the Stanley Cup Finals? Is it ESPN or TNT? I don't know who has the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm not entirely sure. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. If you're brand new, I'm Jeremy Case with the Case by Case Sports Show here. We're calling Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. The Avalanche have a 3-0 lead, trying to sweep the Oilers here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and Rogers Place. Oilers trying to keep it alive and send it back to Colorado for Game 5. If you're new here, please make yourselves known down in the chat. I do like to get a conversation going. Thank you guys for joining. As well as, you know, and if you like what you hear or see, please be sure to leave me a like or a subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it helps me grow the channel here. 5:39 left here in the second period. We're all squared away at 1 here. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, towards the last minute of this period, I'll be bringing back in Bronco Bill here to break down what we just saw in the second period and what's to come in the third. 5:39 left here. Coming back into the action now. .539 left now, puck down, and it looks like here now the Avalanche will try to move it out of their own zone, but knocked back into their own zone by the Edmonton Oilers. Now being worked along here is Bo Byram trying to get it out. He'll work it back for Cale Makar. Makar with it behind the net. Makar with it still behind the net. Waiting for the line change and to set it up. Here comes McKinnon now. Getting ready. Here comes now Makar with it. We'll work it along to Bo Byram as he works it in, and they'll be cut off by the Oilers in their own zone. Here now being worked into the Avalanche zone, being cut off by Makar as he pokes it back out. Avalanche trying to contest as Nathan McKinnon's working for it. Here's McKinnon. Back to Makar. Makar with it, trying to work it along over to Landeskog. Landeskog with it. We'll get it and flip it over into the Oilers zone. Being given chase to it now is Darnell Nurse with Landeskog. As they try to work it along the boards, being cut off by the Avalanche here, though. It can't keep it in as it goes over the blue line and out of the Oilers zone. Now to be picked up here by the Oilers as they dump it into the Avalanche zone. Josh Manson giving chase to it. Oh, as he smacks into the boards hard. Avalanche work it out, though. Here comes JT Compher as he dumps it into the Oilers zone. Will be cut off by Kulak. Kulak with it now out to Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl coming through the neutral zone over the blue line into the Avalanche zone. Helm giving chase, trying to cut him off. Great defense by Helm as Draisaitl works it along the boards. Took another big hit, slow to get up. Draisaitl still on the ice as he barely gets up. As Compher now gets it and works it along, cleared into the Oilers zone. Here comes Arturi Lehkonen. Wow, Leon Draisaitl cannot even get off the ice. He's probably got to go back to the locker room. Now here comes the Connor McDavid now as he works into the Avalanche zone. Foegele giving chase to it. It wasn't waved off. Now being met by Eric Johnson now in the zone with Zach Hyman. Hyman now trying to work it out. Hyman gets it with a turnaround shot, but it's deflected wide. Now back under the net for Fogle. Here's Fogle now. Fogle working it now. Here, picked up by Duncan Keith with a shot saved by Francouz. And a whistle. And I'm not sure why they stopped play here. 3:37 left. I think they whistled it because Makar got his stick caught up in a skate. Helm laid a brutal hit on Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl couldn't even get up. Draisaitl took the better half of 45 seconds just to even get back into the bench. Draisaitl may be done. So 24-16 are the shots. 3:37 left. Draisaitl leaning over, writhing in pain. Still on the bench, though. Now, puck down. Now Keith's got it with a shot from the blue line, and it's deflected left wide of the net here, cleared out by the Avalanche into the Oilers zone, giving chases Bouchard and Rantanen. Now Bouchard tries to move it out, and it'll be moved along by the Oilers. Now Byram cuts it off, trying to move it back in. Here's O'Connor. Now to Burakovsky. Now O'Connor. Back to Devon Taves. Taves with it in his own zone here. Here's Taves with it now, waiting for the line change and ready to get it set up. Now Taves, we get back over. Lost it. Now turn over here with Nugent Hopkins with a shot score. Turnovers are killing the Colorado Avalanche right now. That's the second goal off a turnover. I do not know what happened to this hockey team between periods 1 and 2, but they have seemed to have regressed, not progressed, as Devon Taves read the puck wrong, got too far in front of it. It bounced off the boards, came back over to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He takes it all alone into the Avalanche zone with a flip backhand over Francouz and puts the Oilers up 2-1 here. We're now with the puck down now, and I believe the Avalanche have it, moving it back into the zone here. Here's Makar now giving chase to it. We'll give it up to Landeskog as he flips it out of the zone, trying to be worked along by the Avalanche, and it'll be cut off by the Oilers here. Now McDavid with it, working along with the pass. Shot, score. No, save. Save. It was off the post. It didn't go in. Now McDavid cutting back with it. Avalanche need to tighten up around the net with a shot in by Bouchard or by McLeod, and it deflected high up and out of play. 24-17 are the shots, 2:35 left. Another defensive mistake made. Now it looks like Game 5 on Wednesday. We'll see about that. There's still one more period of hockey to be played. Whoo, that one was close to going in. Draisaitl still on the bench, still writhing in pain, but he's still on the bench. Face off to the right face-off circle here near the Avalanche bench. It'll be Malone and Comfer here for the face-off. Yeah, Malone gets told to get out of the face-off. Now Fogle will come in. Now with the puck down and the Avalanche win it. Now being put behind the net. Johnson will try to work it back along the boards here. Being cut off by the Oilers now. Here's Manson behind the net. We'll move it along here for Abe-Kubel as he moves it out of the zone. Being contested. Now picked up here by Newhook here. Now to Comfer. Comfer works it in behind the net. Now Newhook with it. Staying with it. Here's Newhook being battled for with 4 different guys now trying to move back out to the blue line, but move back behind the bench. Kulak picks it up here. Now to Cassian. Cassian moves it up out and clears it into the Avalanche zone. Now being picked up by the Avalanche and moved out of the zone there by Comfer with a huge hit laid on. Now it's going to be, it might be a penalty now. Josh Manson trying to go at it with Cassian. Some jaw jacking going on there between Cassian and Josh Manson. Avalanche can't lose composure here. Manson did not like the hit that Cassian laid on him. Avalanche can't do this. They can't give into it like this. We go 1:58 left here, and it's going to be a 2-minute power play. Abe-Kubel's going to be called for the penalty. So the Oilers will be on the power play again. Here's now McDavid here with the faceoff. 24-17 are the shots. Puck down now, and the Avalanche win it as Taves rims it around and will clear it out of the Avalanche zone. It'll be a delay game penalty. Puck over the glass on Kubel. Now here comes Gulak now. Gulak leaving it behind here for McDavid. McDavid working it through the neutral zone over the blue line. Here comes McDavid, bumped off the puck, though, with a slap shot by Hyman. Went wide left here now of the net. Here's now Nugent Hopkins over to McDavid. Back over to Barry. Back over to McDavid. McDavid left side, leaving it back for Barry. As he will trap it and keep it in now. Works it on over here to Leon Draisaitl. Back over to McDavid. Back over to Barry. Barry with it now on the right side over the blue line. He walks over to the left. Barry over to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins with it to McDavid. McDavid back over to the blue line here for Draisaitl. Here's Draisaitl with it. Now over to Nugent Hopkins with a shot score. Sorry, that was Connor McDavid. Well, that'll negate that penalty now. 1:06 left. Now the Oilers up 3-1. Let it in on the back door there. Was Zach Hyman and McDavid got it in as now the puck is down here. Being worked around here with a shot out and saved by Francouz. Here, 58.7 seconds left. So here we go. 24-19 are the shots here. Face off to the left of the Avalanche bench here. Or net, excuse me. Now puck down, and Byron will work it along the boards here, trying to clear it out of the Avalanche zone. It's being kept in by the Oilers. So now here comes Johnson now moving it behind for Byram. Now we'll get it out to McKinnon. McKinnon trying to get out of the zone, being knocked down and kept out by Fogle. Now trying to be worked along by McKinnon into Landeskog. We'll get it out to Rantanen here. Here's Rantanen moving it to Johnson with the shot, and it went left wide up and deflected wide. Trying to be kept in by the Avalanche, but the Oilers will ultimately possess it. Fogle gets it and will flip it up out of the zone. Now being beat by Hyman now with a shot saved by Francouz. Now here's Byram now trying to work it out. 21 seconds left. Here's Byram now just holding it. We'll hold it in their own zone here. 15 seconds left as he moves it along here for Makar. Now over to Byram as he flips it and works it into the Avalanche zone. Now here's Bouchard now. Bouchard out to McDavid, 1, and that is the end of the second period. The Edmonton Oilers come up now and get 2 goals, and now they lead the Colorado Avalanche by the score of 3-1 going into the third period. Come in here, and we'll bring in our special guest again, Bronco Bill. Bill, how's it going?
You don't want to know, man. You don't want to know after that second period. What in heaven's name happened to the Avalanche after the first half of the period? They just win a sweep.
Yeah.
And when Edmonton got that first goal and tied it 1-1, I said to myself, you can't wake up. I didn't say sweeping giant because they're not a sweeping giant, but you can't give them hope.
No.
And you see what happened.
And I don't know why this happened, Bill. I don't know why this is the killer instinct has left this team. I don't know what happened between periods 1 and 2, but it seems like the Avalanche just don't have that close it out instinct in them right now. And I guess we can I guess we can sit there and say, well, it's because they scored the first goal. They usually don't win games when they score the first goal. We can chalk it up to that, but I don't know, man. Ultimately, I think it comes up to I just don't understand where this is all coming from. You know, Draisaitl is visibly hurt. He's hunching over every time on the bench. You have him on the ropes. I think it's just really a mental game with the Avalanche right now. It's all mental at this point. Like they just, I don't know what it is. They just can't seem to get into the let's close it out and shut them down. I don't know why.
It looks to me like, and I hate to use that prevent defense thing, but it's very evident. I mean, they go into a shell, and Francos is not the Francos of games 1, 2, and 3. There's no way.
That's why I said he's streaky. Yeah. He's streaky. I don't think we'll see the emergence of Darcy Kemper here tonight, but maybe if it goes back to Denver for game 5 and he's 100% healthy, maybe Kemper gets the start then.
Why not? I mean, he's going to have 2 more days rest. He's got tonight. He's got tomorrow. I say start Darcy Kemper. Do I take anything away from Francos? No. This is a team that has let Francos down. And yes, I mean, the Oilers have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing they have to lose is game 4.
Is the game tonight. Yeah, absolutely.
But beyond that, I mean, they're playing on house money right now. And they know it. And they're coming out fired up. And the Avalanche is not matching it right now. If they don't come out, they being the Avalanche, don't come out in the 3rd period and show some kind of spark, I'm going to be concerned because Edmonton's going to have momentum going into game 5. I hate to say it, but
I'm not willing to give up on the Avalanche yet, because at the end of the day, we are only down 2 goals. We're only down 2 goals, and I have a lot of faith in the offensive powerhouse of this team and the depth in it. I'm not willing to give up on the Avalanche just yet and say that this game is over. There's still 20 minutes of hockey to be played. With that being said, though, the Avalanche, I don't know who needs to do it in that locker room, but somebody needs to light a fire under all the boys there, and they need to come out. There's no excuse for this type of play for the Avalanche. There's all kinds of excuses for the Edmonton Oilers. There's not for the Avalanche. The crowd was dead for most of the part of that second period until the Oilers started scoring. It's not like they were rocking and they were deafening and they were all in your face. There was none of that. And you know what's really upsetting me about this team too, Bill, is that they're starting to give in to the Oilers' physicality. They're starting to take exception to it. And I don't like that now. I think Jared Bednar is having the conversation in that locker room right now and telling them stop, get more disciplined.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, they took stupid penalties late in that second period. Very stupid penalty. You can't do that.
I mean,
they're trying to get an Avalanche head, and it's working.
I can't blame Ave Kubel for dumping it up over the glass. You got to do what you got to do to get it out of your own zone. That's just like it's like given a foul in the NBA on when the guy's got a breakaway and you don't want to give him the easy basket. I get that.
Pass interference at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, you don't want to give them the easy score, and you don't want to make their chances even more. I understand that, but and obviously in the second period as well, Bill, we had a little bit of a scare with Gabriel Landeskog there. He went down after it looked like like he slipped off his knee funny as he was trying to go basically try to hold back Cassian from getting the puck there in the corner. And I think what happened is his knee might have given out, and he kind of fell forward with Cassian. I don't think it was any intention there by Gabriel Landeskog to try and take Cassian out. I think he was literally just trying to grab him around the front of him and try to hold him back and get his stick out in front to poke it away along the boards. And I don't know, maybe his knee gave out. Hopefully he hasn't re-injured that knee he had surgery on. We hope to God he hasn't.
No, I understand that, but why wasn't it a double penalty? I mean,
I agree with that.
Jumps on Landeskog and holds him down.
Yeah, that should have been a penalty. Absolutely. Because I think it was wrong by Cassian to take exception to that. I don't think Cassian, obviously since the Steve Moore, Todd Bertuzzi days, I'm sure players are really well aware of another player trying to come up behind them and, try to slam them to the ice, obviously. And maybe that's what Cassian thought there. I don't know. Maybe he thought Landeskog was trying to come up from behind him and slam him face down to the ice, but I just don't think that Cassian understood what happened there. And I think Landeskog's knee gave out on him and they fell forward, and it was just it was an incident of pure coincidence. But yeah, I feel like it should have been a double minor, but ultimately, good teams, they don't complain, they overcome, and the Avalanche couldn't do it as Zach Hyman scores on that power play right there. And all of a sudden the Oilers are up 2-1. The Avs are just giving up their own zone way too easy. They're giving it up.
Mentioned in the first intermission.
They're still doing it. They're still giving up their, Francouz can only do so much. I kind of don't blame Pavel Francouz as much as I do the D line tonight. Because the Avalanche were leaving Francouz open in the net for him to be beat on easy situations. You can't blame Pavel Francouz for giving up 3 goals. I blame the Avalanche D-corps for that.
Well, I'll tell you what, in my opinion, going into the third period, all Edmonton is going to do is dump and chase, make the Avalanche chase. And if we can get speed out there and we can get some, I mean, we've had opportunities. They just haven't been there. We've had missed passes that were right in the zone. We've had missed opportunities. We hit a corner, the right corner as you're shooting at the net. Opportunity after opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the Avalanche can overcome this because that crowd is going to be intense. They want this win. They want this win.
They're behind the Oilers fully now.
Absolutely.
And now you put yourself in a position where you come out in the third period and now Rogers Place is going to be rocking. It's going to be loud. It's going to be in your face. It's going to be intense. And I don't know what it is, Bill, but it seems like throughout this playoffs, the Avalanche have a comfortability problem. They get too comfortable.
Yes, they do.
They get way too comfortable. They're up 3 games to none, and now all of a sudden they just stop playing. I don't understand why they do that. If anything, you should be ratcheting up your play because I'm telling you, what waits on the other side of this round of the Stanley Cup Finals. Those guys they don't play comfortably. They don't at all.
Rangers don't care, and neither does Tampa Bay.
No, they are shove it down your throat for 60 minutes. That is exactly the way they play. Both teams play that way. And the Rangers play a little bit more physical of a style than the Lightning do. So, everybody thinks that the Rangers are the easier matchup. I don't know about that anymore because, they got a lot of young guys, a lot of hungry guys who like to get down, get dirty, chase down the puck, and smash you up against the glass. They love to do that. Right. And so I don't know necessarily if you want to play like this, even if the Avalanche win tonight, you got to find a way to stay aggressive.
I'll tell you what, you're very positive because being down 2 goals with the way the Avalanche have played in the second half of the second period, if somebody doesn't rattle their cage and knock them upside the head and say, hey, guys, do you want to go back to Colorado and maybe lose that game and have to come back here? No,
we don't want to.
Somebody's got to wake up this Avalanche team.
Absolutely. It goes back to that whole atmosphere thing we were talking about early on in this series, Rogers Place, it can be very intimidating just because surely the way that the arena sits, the seats sit kind of over on top of the ice and that noise. And that noise just comes straight down on it. You could hear it I like I said, the fire needs to be lit under the Avalanche. It really does. Somebody needs to rally this team because they're not cutting it tonight. There was very, very poor play in the second period.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going into third period. One main question. Can the Avalanche tie this game and force overtime? Or do we go to game 5?
I mean, I believe they can tie it. We all know that they're capable. That's the thing. Every single one of us knows that the Avalanche are a capable team. I don't know why. Because we all know how the Avalanche play when they play from behind. They play amazing. I mean, as terrible as that second period was, the Avalanche for some reason just have to play from behind. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's been the history of really Colorado sports in general for the better half of the last 40 years. I mean, what made John Elway so great? How he came back from behind. Broncos always coming back from behind. Right. I'm not so sure about the Nuggets. I'm not so sure about the Rockies, but the Avs and the Broncos have always had that where they, in 2001 with the Avalanche and the New Jersey Devils, the Avalanche, they had a chance to take Game 6 from New Jersey in New Jersey, and they lost it. And it was they had to win. They had the chance. Sorry, they had a chance to win the cup in Jersey, and they lost the game, and it's tied going back to Colorado. Right. I don't know. This team has a history. I don't know if it's historically or the overall mantra of this team, but they have a history of just making it complicated when they don't need to. I mean, I understand right now you don't got Nazem Kadri. You didn't have Peter Forsberg then, but this team is still capable.
Oh, sure it is. That's not the question. The question is, if you don't slam the door when you have the opportunity to slam the door and the other team puts their foot in there, all they have to do is get pressure behind it, open that door, and now you got problems. Now you got a intrusion, and that's what Edmonton has done tonight.
That being said, though, with how I look at these teams, I don't see Edmonton winning 4 straight games to beat the Avalanche in this series. I don't think even if it does go back for Game 5, I can't see the Edmonton Oilers, with as banged up as they are, with as unconfident as they seem to be, with the soul taken out of that team, beating the Avalanche 4 straight times to eliminate them in the Western Conference Finals. I can't see it. I can't see it at all. The Avalanche are the better team. Like,
Sure,
if it's not tonight, it'll be, what is it, Monday? So Wednesday night. I just don't think that the Oilers are going to beat the Avalanche 4 straight times. There's no way.
Okay.
There's no way.
All right.
I don't see it.
Let's say it goes back to Game 5 and the Avalanche win the Western Conference Finals at home.
Right.
Who do you want to see in the Stanley Cup? Because right now it's Rangers 2 and Tampa Bay 1, and that could go 7 games, or who knows.
Right.
Rangers
I don't know.
Look tough. Rangers look tough.
Rangers look tough, though, but they are the better matchup for the Avalanche, speaking as far as, because like I was explaining to you the other day, we were texting about it, Bill. The Rangers seem to be a top 6 team, and it's most of their productions come from that top line, really. And if it comes down to that, the Avalanche have the advantage on the depth. I think the Avalanche have a way. Now, the goalie matchup with the Rangers is where I get a little bit iffy about, because Shesterkin has been playing out of his mind as of late, and you know what happens when a goalie gets a hot hand. You see it with Pavel Francouz. I mean, he led the Avalanche to 2 straight victories over the Edmonton Oilers. So, I like the Rangers more than I like the Lightning, because the Lightning are obviously intimidating because of the back-to-back defending Stanley Cup champions.
Right.
So,
okay, do the Avalanche come back tonight, or are we going to see you on Wednesday night in Denver? Well, not you physically, but the Avalanche in Denver.
It's hard to say. I think we'll be able to tell within the first 3 to 5 minutes of this period. I really do.
That early, huh?
Yeah, I think we'll be able to tell. So it's all going to depend on how they come out. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't have the confidence that they could come back in this game, but at home with our fans, but you know what? We're on a 6-game road winning streak. I would hate to have that snapped.
Yeah, I would. It's kind of like one of the things that's keeping me faith. That's having me keep faith here that the Avalanche will come back. I mean, I think they know what they're up against here, but the poise in the locker room, I'm looking at it right now. It hasn't changed at all. Everybody's still focused. Nobody's really losing it. So, I think just the big names need to get going. Big names have been a little bit slow for the Avalanche tonight.
I've always been a proponent of, if you're going to lose when you're up 3 games to none on the road. That way you get the monkey off your back, so to speak. Yeah. Then you say, okay, we know how it feels. We don't want to feel that again.
And we're back at home in front of our own fans, and you got a whole bunch going for you. So, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Bill, for joining us here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to step away here for another short, brief break. We will talk to Bill after the game here and break this all down. Period 3 coming up next. You're listening to Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals right here on the Case by Case Sports Show. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Third period starting now. Avalanche down 3-1 here. We're going to find out now whether they turn it around or the Oilers keep the pressure on and send it back to Colorado for Game 5. We go now. Both teams commencing towards center ice here as we get ready for the face-off. 3-1 Oilers. McKinnon and McDavid here for the face-off now. Referee gets set here. Puck down, and the Oilers have it here. Now working it around into the Avalanche zone. It'll be cut off here by Devon Taves. Now Devon Taves now works it around, trying to get it to Nichushkin. It's being cut off. Will be picked up by Nathan McKinnon. Here he comes through the neutral zone. Over the blue line is McKinnon. Giving chase to it in the corner. We'll move it along behind the net for Landeskog. It'll be brought up here by Nichushkin. Nichushkin without front of that shot. It went up high and up over the net. Now Makar with it, trying to work it back towards the blue line. We'll get it over to out to Taves. Taves within the shot. Score! Great score by Devon Taves as he levels this one. And the Avalanche are only down now 32 seconds into it. They score and now only trail 3-2. It went off Cody Ceci and into the net there. Told you, Devon Taves. I told you. Here we go now, face off. And it's a false face off there as now they'll back him up. Devon Taves now with the goal. Now the puck down, the Avalanche have it. Now they'll work it back into the Oilers zone. Giving chase to it now is Burakovsky. It'll be cut off by Gulak, though, as he tries to move it out. It'll be cut off by Byram. Byram trying to work it along back behind the net or back out to the blue line as he does. Being cut off again by Gulak. Being cut off again by Byram. Now being moved around here by McDavid as it's kept in by Rantanen. Rantanen trying to keep it in. The Avalanche do as they work it back behind the net. Now Smith has it. Smith giving play to it, and we'll get it out here to McLeod, and Nugent Hopkins will work it along as the Avalanche retain it back in their own zone. Here's Eric Johnson now behind his own net, waiting for the line change and the play to set up here. Avalanche. 27-20 the shots. Now Johnson moving back over around his net as he tried to bring it back out as Cassian gives chase to him. Now here's Johnson as he moves it along the boards, being cut off by Cassian, and we'll move it cross ice here to Duncan Keith with a slap shot saved by Pranceaux as it's gathered and gloved there for the face-off. Avalanche need to score another goal here within the next 5 minutes. Really keep the pressure on and have a chance here. There we go. Face-off will be to the right face-off circle, the Avalanche, by the Avalanche net. It'll be Helm and Draisaitl. I'm surprised Draisaitl's still even playing the way that he's been hurt. Ready here. Now they're backing up. Referee telling them back up here as we get ready for the face-off. Puck down, and now the Avalanche technically have it, but the Oilers come up with it. Bouchard with it, with a shot being tapped in front, and Francouz will glove it and get ready. Nice cover up by Francouz. Great save there. 27-22 here for the shots on goal. Avalanche need to get back in this, though. Puck down. The Avalanche win it. Here comes Devon Taves as he gets it and kicks it out of the Avalanche zone all the way down to the other side. It'll be whistled for an icing. 18-19 officially left here in the period. Looney says, let's go Avalanche. That's right, Lunny. Let's go Avalanche. Face off now, puck down, and the Avalanche have it, but they'll scrum with it here with the Oilers here as McDavid gets a stick held by Taves, being worked in the corner. Fans won the call, not getting it again. Now we'll come out here as McDavid. McDavid will push it back behind over for Draisaitl as he's being worked over the back by McKinnon. Now it'll be get out to Makar. Makar will work it out of the zone. Now up to Nichushkin as he clears it into the zone, but it'll be whistled for an icing. Thank you, Lenny, for tuning in. New face, I haven't seen you here before. Thank you for tuning in. Faceoff will come to the left of the Avalanche net here. So it's going to be McKinnon and Nugent Hopkins as the Oilers move it. When the faceoff, but Nichushkin comes up with the puck, we'll get it through the neutral zone and dump it into the Oilers zone. Here comes Landeskog giving chase to it in the corner, but it'll be moved along and being cut off by Puljujarvi. Puljujarvi knocked out with a shot by Landeskog. Out in front, rebound, loose puck, but it was saved by Smith. Now the Avalanche trying to keep it in the zone here. Now Byram will keep it in the zone, but he'll jump it too quickly as he was whistled for the offside. 17:36 left officially. Oh boy, that was a close one by Landeskog. As Mike Smith barely got a glove in it. Landeskog, what a job knocking down that puck to try and get it on the net there. 28-22 the shots here. Here now Rantanen, and it looks like Puljujarvi here for Ryan as the puck is down and the Oilers get the draw here. Cody Ceci behind his own bench or net will bring it out. Will be cut off by the Avalanche, and now we'll be back over to McLeod. McLeod will try to flip it through the neutral zone and it'll be moved along by Ryan into the Avalanche zone. Franco's given play behind it. We'll work it around back to the left side of the boards, being kept in by the Oilers here as Ryan keeps it in, but it'll be whistled for the offsides as the puck went up over the blue line before he could have a chance. That's great news. Yeah, he was back. He never left. Now Comfer, and it's going to be Malone here for the faceoff. Puck down, and the Avalanche have it. Here's now Eric Johnson back in his own zone. We'll move it across ice here to Jack Johnson as he flips it up and over into the Oilers zone. Newhook giving chase will be cut off by the Oilers as they flip it up, being knocked down by Johnson in the neutral zone. We'll give it to Newhook as he moves it along and clears in the Oilers zone. Mike Smith giving chase to it behind as JT Comfer gives it to him in the corner. Now Fogle comes out with it behind his own net, trying to come out with it now is Fogle as he'll move it out along. Will be moved along there and being cut off by the Avalanche here, contested at mid-ice, and then ultimately Abe Kubel will come up with it. Tries to get a cross-ice pass, will be knocked around, and Kubel will try to move it along as the Oilers repossess it with Duncan Keith. Now over to Bouchard. Bouchard with it as he with a shot and a save by Francouz as he just tried to dump it in the zone. Here comes Taves. Devon Taves with it now, moving it out. Here's Landeskog up the right side boards, and we'll move it in. It'll be kicked out immediately by Duncan Keith. Move back in here. Here comes Nathan McKinnon through the blue line. Here's McKinnon in with it into the zone. Tries to get out into the zone, but it'll be knocked off the puck. Here comes McDavid now over the blue line for the Avalanche. Now left to Draisaitl across ice, pass, score. Zach Hyman again with his second goal of this game, and it puts the Oilers up 4-2. 16:05 left. And again, the Avalanche taking exception to the Oilers' physicality as Draisaitl and Nichushkin are jaw-jacking on the side. I don't like this at all. The Colorado Avalanche are a shell of themselves right now. They're leaving Pavel Francouz to be beat at every opportunity they can. Unbelievable. 28-24 the shots. Puck down now, and the Avalanche look to fight for it here. Being worked along into the zone. Here's Cogliano with a shot and a save by Smith here in the zone. Now left for here. Nugent Hopkins with it. Will bring it out from his own net. Flips it up and over through the neutral zone into the Avalanche zone. Giving chase to it is Johnson. Being cut off by McLeod. McLeod has it now. Works it back over to the blue line. Now it's a Barry now with a shot being trapped down there by O'Connor. O'Connor now brings it as he works along in the boards into the zone. Now Cogliano with it in the left corner, working it around the back behind the net. We'll get it for Helm here. Helm with it over to the shot. Save, gloved by Smith. Yeah, the Avalanche looks like they've lost a lot out of their sails. Here's that goal. Took all the confidence the Avalanche potentially had and just killed it. $15:29 left here. Confer and Malone for the faceoff here. Puck down, and the Oilers win it here. Being worked by the net. Here's Rantanen now with a shot, and it went wide of Mike Smith now. Now Avalanche trying to keep it in the zone. It'll be worked around by Confer, trying to be cut off by Smith. Now by Keith as he gets rocked by Mikko Rantanen. Rantanen trying to work it out, and the Oilers being kept in here with the Avalanche on their zone. Here comes Burakovsky behind the net. Burakovsky cutting. There comes Burakovsky out with Confer with a shot, and it went high up over the net. Now here is Bouchard as they clear it out of the zone, going down to the other end. Cassian and Taves getting chased to it as Taves tries to slam it into the boards, and now ultimately come up by Makar. Makar trying to move it out, and it will be Confer. Confer out here to Jack Johnson. To Taves. Taves over the blue line into the zone. Will be poked away and cut off here by the Oilers by Cody Ceci. Cody Ceci rocked by Burakovsky in the corner here. Now Confer trying to work it around. Back by Burakovsky. Now the Avalanche come up with it. Nichushkin trying to get it. Tripped down and knocked down. Now here comes Confer. Confer with it, trying to keep it in, and he does. Cuts back. Here's Confer in on it in the offensive zone. Gives out to Nichushkin. Nichushkin with a shot. Save. Knocked away by Smith. And now here comes the Oilers on the breakaway on the other side. It's a 3-on-1. Here's McDavid now, and it's poked away. Poked away again by Eric Johnson. What a defensive play as he moves it out of the zone. Now Landeskog giving chase to it over the blue line. Here comes Landeskog in the corner as he shakes that off. Coming down now with it all alone in the lane with a shot. Save. And now here comes the Oilers back the other way. Here comes Draisaitl as he just dumps it in. Now being chased here in the zone here. Coming up here with Landeskog. Landeskog with it. Turns around now as he brings it out of the zone. Now working in the neutral zone, but now Fogle works it back in. Now being knocked away by Josh Manson as he tries to go back into their own zone. 31-24 with the shots here. Manson will hold for the line change. Manson now with it, trying to work it out of the neutral zone, and it will be cleared as Cogliano gets rocked trying to enter the zone. Now behind the net, O'Connor tries to poke it along. It's being cut off by the Oilers. Now being fought for, and ultimately Russell will come up with it as he's slammed into the glass by Helm. The Oilers were working it along here into the Avalanche zone. Hyman will come up with it. Now Makar with it, trying to work it back behind the net. Now working it out of the zone, and Duncan Keith will cut it off here in the neutral zone. Keith now working it in as it's cleared into the Avalanche zone. It'll be up and out of play. 31-24, 12:55 left here in the third period. You're listening to Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. You're on the Case by Case Sports Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Third period, 12:55 left here. The third period as the Oilers scored. Puts them up 4-2 here. Only 12:55 left here. Oilers trying to send it back to game 5 for Colorado for game 5. Avs trying to close it out here on the road and move on to the Stanley Cup Finals. JT Compher now. McLeod for the face-off here. Now with the puck down and the Avalanche won it here. Now Makar with it out to Taves as he clears it into the Avalanche zone or to the Oilers zone, but the Oilers cut it off immediately. Keith dumps it out of the zone, being worked along, but it'll be cut off by Cale Makar. Makar working back over towards the zone here. Here comes Makar working it over to the neutral zone, cut off by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins as he dumps it back into the Avalanche zone. Now Makar working it around the boards, trying to get it out of the zone, being contested by Alex Newhook and Derek Ryan here. Moving along the boards, now back behind the Avalanche net. It'll be out with Makar now here to Taves, out to Newhook as they work it along here. Being cleared into the zone is Abe Kubel as he's met by 3 Oilers immediately as he was trying to keep it for the line change. Bouchard with a slap shot into the Avalanche zone. Worked out by the Avalanche, but being repossessed by Bouchard. Bouchard tries to work it through the neutral zone, being cleared here. Here's McDavid with a shot, saved by Francouz as it's pushed away, and now Byram gets the rebound, tries to work it out here. It's being contested. They will move it along the boards. Now Andre Burakovsky with it, gives it to Lehkonen here. Lehkonen, Avs cannot keep the puck on their stick here. Now here for Burakovsky behind the net as he cuts back over to the left side. Now to the right side, trying to work it back over out to the blue line. Now here's Burakovsky now with the lane. Gets it, tries to get it across ice now for Byram with a slap shot. Save by Smith. Avalanche can't even do the fundamental things right here. .32 left in this game here. Faceoff will come to the left faceoff circle near the Edmonton Oilers bench. Or net, excuse me. It'll be Landeskog going to take the faceoff against McKinnon. Or I'm sorry, Landeskog against Ryan, as he did have a conversation with McKinnon. Face off to the left face-off circle as now Ryan is kicked out, and in comes McLeod. Now with the puck down, and the Avalanche win the face-off, though. It'll be intercepted by the Oilers, though, and dumped out of the zone. Being knocked down now, being contested by Ryan. Ryan will come up with it. He tries to work it around the backside of the net, being cut off by Devon Taves. Worked it back over to the blue line and out of the Avalanche zone. Smith now playing it outside of the net to the right side. It's poked into the Avalanche, kept in here. Now Bowen Byram with a shot in the lane with a rebound shot. Now with a rebound shot, score! Score by Valerie Nichushkin! Valerie Nichushkin comes up with a rebound as the puck was loose in front of the net. The Avalanche are again within 1 goal of this game. Way to never give up, though. Mike Smith was really upset with the call, though. He wanted some interference there. But as he was shoved back into the net, no call. Oilers might challenge this. I don't know. Smith is mad. He threw his stick. He was visibly upset here. 11:02 left here. 1 goal game. Don't go anywhere, Avalanche fans. Puck down now as the Oilers have it. They're trying to work it into the zone. Now comes Puljujärvi as he works it around the net, being cut off here. Here comes Helm now, working it out of the neutral zone, but it's being cut off by the Oilers now. O'Connor, and the Oilers will dump it back into the Avalanche zone. Byram giving chase to it behind the net. Here comes Byram trying to clear it out of the zone and will work it out. Here comes Cogliano now as he tries to work it in, cleared over the line into the Oilers zone. O'Connor with it as he's mixed up with it, but Duncan Keith will come up with it. Now fighting for it in the corner. Cogliano cuts it off up in front of the net. But it gets intercepted by the Oilers. Now moving it out to the neutral zone over the blue line. Here's Bouchard, but he's met by 3 Avalanches. It's cut off and the shot's blocked. Now working for it now, Josh Manson moves it out to Helm here as they try to move it out of the zone, but kept in by Bouchard, but knocked down by Byram. Here's Byram now circling back behind the net. Plenty of time, but the Avalanche have to stay aggressive here. They must be aggressive. If they're going to win this game or tie it and send it to overtime, they have to be aggressive. Byram now with it to Johnson as he moves it along and clears it into the Oilers zone. Mike Smith playing it behind the net. Now trying to get it out of the Oilers, but being contested by the Avalanche, and they do work it out, being all the way to the other side, but Eric Johnson will pick it up behind his own net, trying to move it all along the right side. Now the Avalanche have it in the neutral zone. Abe Kubel dumps it in. Or, I'm sorry, Newhook does dump it in. Being cut off here by Russell for the Oilers as the Avalanche get a line change as he was rocked in the corner. Now here comes Fogle now over the line. Here is McLeod with the shot. Saved by Francouz as it's gloved. 34-26 the shots. 9:30 left here in the third period. Avalanche trying to get back into this game here. I'm going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 9 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in this game. Avalanche down by 1. As I spill Mountain Dew all over me. Here we go, coming back into the action now. 34-26 the shots. Avalanche trying to put the Oilers away. Face off now, puck down, and the Avalanche have it. They'll try to work it out of their zone. They do. Here's Nichushkin fighting for it at center ice, trying to move it along, but it's cut off by Leon Draisaitl. Here's Draisaitl now with it. Now we're trying to work it out of the zone, and he works it over for Fogle here. Here's Fogle now working it over the blue line in the Avalanche zone with a shot. It went wide of the net. Now trying to come back out of the net. Makar's got it behind the net, trying to clear it up out, and it'll be cleared out by Landeskog and now Nichushkin. Nichushkin will clear it. Oh, being tripped up there. Being cleared to the zone with a shot saved by Smith. And now Zach Hyman's down as he was hit pretty well. I believe the Oilers will go on the power play, though, as a trip will be called. So now the Oilers will go on the power play again. So McKinnon will be called for tripping and spend 2 minutes in the box here. You cannot give up mistakes like that this late in the game. I don't necessarily see a trip there. I see a collision. I mean, it's knee on knee. I don't know how you get called for a trip, but maybe a slew foot. Maybe. Tripping at 11:02, though. .858 officially. Here left down as the puck is down, and the Oilers have it now. Here's Barry now with it on the blue line. Barry walking it with a slap shot, and it's blocked off in the zone. They're trying to be moved out by Helm now as he's contested. It'll be moved along here to McDavid. Now out with a shot, and Draisaitl missed the open net, cleared out of the zone by the Colorado Avalanche there. Here comes now Barry now with it now, trying to move it as he'll leave it behind here for Connor McDavid. Here's McDavid here, coming through the blue line and clears it into the Avalanche zone. Now being contested by Devon Taves, now in the right corner. Taves trying to hold it up, now moves it along back behind the net. Makar will get it and clear it out of the zone. Great penalty kill here so far by the Avalanche. Got a little bit lucky with the missed opportunity here. After this penalty ends, the Avalanche need to be extremely aggressive. Here's Draisaitl now moving it over the blue line, cleared it in for Hyman. Now Draisaitl. Now here's Hyman with it in front of the net. Now here for Nugent Hopkins here. Moves it back over to the blue line to Barry. Here's Barry now on the blue line with it. Back over to McDavid. McDavid with it. Tries to give it, leaves it for Barry with a shot in the slot. And it's no good as it went. Now shot, rebound, save again. And now it's being batted away as it gets pushed out to the back to the blue line. Now up, and it's now offsides being whistled. 7:41 left, 43 seconds officially on the power play. The Oilers try to get back too soon as the puck went over the blue line. .41 left, 43 seconds left. There's a puck down, and the Oilers have it here as Keith gets it and brings it back into the Oilers zone here. Keith waiting for a line change here as they get ready and they rush through the neutral zone over the blue line cleared. Here's Puljujärvi now with the shots blocked off by Taves and deflected away. Now the Colorado trying to clear it out of the zone, and they do, and Valeri Nichushkin does. 20 seconds left here on the power play. Here comes the Oilers now. Keith with it now, bringing it out of his own territory. Now into the neutral zone, back over here and cleared as now McLeod gives chase to it, back over to Bouchard out on the blue line. Bouchard with it, gets it in with a shot save by Pavel Francouz. Avalanche trying to work it out as a penalty expires. Bouchard with it now to McLeod. McLeod with the shot in the save in the lane. Fogle works it back out to Bouchard with a shot from the blue line as it went left wide. Comfort trying to chop at it to get it out of the zone. It's kept in by the Oilers. Puljujärvi with it now as he'll just dump it in as he was the only Oiler in the zone as they went for a line change. Here now comes Makar coming out of the own zone. Cleared along by Byram. Now here to McKinnon. McKinnon with the shot. Score! Nathan McKinnon with the tying goal, and the Avs have made it very interesting late. With 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this game, the Colorado Avalanche have tied this hockey game. What a goal by Nathan McKinnon to beat Kulak around and Russell as well, and all by himself, and puts it up over Mike Smith's shoulder. The Colorado Avalanche have tied this game. Woo, buddy. Did it ever get quiet here in Rogers Center? 35-28 the shots now. We're waiting for the face-off. Oh boy, this is why I said never quit for the Colorado Avalanche. We know that this team is capable of, and they're showing their capabilities here. Puck worked around by the Oilers, trying to get out of the zone. Repossessed by Mikko Rantanen. Trying to get out in front of the net, but it's blocked away by the Oilers. Here comes McLeod now through the neutral zone, trying to clear it over the blue line, and he does. Here's McLeod in all by himself, wrapping it around the net, trying to get it out, but it's blocked away by Eric Johnson. Now here comes Ryan now, back out to the blue line, here with it, with a slap shot. Save pushed away, being kicked around over in the lane. It'll be come up with Bowen Byram, as now two players get, there's going to be another delayed penalty here on going to be against the Oilers. The Avalanche will go on the power play. Huge break. That was insane. That was Broncos breakdown. That was insane. The Avalanche have a golden opportunity here with a power play coming up. The Avalanche have been 1 for 10. Or wait, no, they scored on the power play. Maybe. I don't know if they scored on the power play. Let's see here. I'll look it up here. I don't know if one of their goals came on the power play here, but I will look it up right now. Let's see here. Team stats, Colorado Avalanche. I don't know if they have scored on the power play or not. Let's see here. Let's work it back up here. Box. Let's see here. Power play. So Colorado has been 1-for-1 tonight on the power play. They have scored a power play goal. They have. So they need to continue that. They need to continue that right here, right now. Whoo, buddy. Avalanche to tie this game, ladies and gentlemen. This game is getting exciting really quick. 5:54 left to go. Avalanche go on the power play as Ryan was called for a trip. Oh, how sweet this victory will be if it becomes a victory. So I said, we talked to Bill in between periods 2 and 3, and I said, I'm not ready to give up on this team yet. We know what they're capable of. Somebody lit a fire up under the boys on that bench. Somebody did. I wasn't sure who it was. Maybe it was Bednar. I don't know. They didn't really show any shots here, but we're coming back into the action here now. Oh boy, is this ever huge, ladies and gentlemen. Is this ever huge? Talk about timing. Here we go now with the face-off coming near the Oilers bench. Here we go now. Avalanche, they always got to come from behind. Puck down now, and the Avalanche have it as they kick it back out towards the blue line. Here's McCarr now. McCarr with it to McKinnon. Back over to Branson with a McCarr slap shot, and it went wide right of the net. Here the Oilers have it, and we'll just kick it out of the zone. It'll go all the way back down to the other side. No icing as it's waved off here as Francouz will leave it behind the net here from McCarr. McCarr with it coming through the zone here. And now McCarr with it through the neutral zone, trying to come up over the blue line as he'll retreat back into the Avalanche zone. McCarr with it coming back over through again. We'll leave it behind for Nathan McKinnon. Here's Nathan McKinnon through the neutral zone over the blue line being cleared. Here's now Landeskog as he'll leave it back over the blue line to McCarr with a shot. Score! Mikko Rantanen! And the Moose is loose! Mikko Rantanen puts the Avalanche up 1 with 5 minutes and 14 seconds to go in this hockey game. The Avalanche lead by 1. Now here comes the ultimate test. The Avalanche need to hold this lead, or else that means absolutely nothing. 5:13 is the official time. 36:29 are the shots. Oh boy, Rogers Center is quiet now. Puck down now. The Avalanche have it now. Here comes Taves. Taves now. Do not go into prevent defense. They need to stay aggressive as the puck goes up and out of play. Landeskog and McCarr with the assists on that. Mikko Rantanen coming up huge. The two, I said it through the intermission breaks too, that the big names need to get going. And we have. So far, McKinnon and Rantanen with goals. Last 2 goals for the Avalanche. 5:04 here. Now we got the face-off coming. Puck down, and the Avalanche being fought for it as the Oilers will smack it, and it'll be saved by Francouz there. I don't know if that's an official shot on goal. Taves trying to work it up out of the zone. Here now being intercepted by Draisaitl, but being poked away by the Avalanche now. Bouchard will work it in and around behind the net. Now McDavid with it now. McDavid with it. Coming back over by the blue line, being poked away by Darren Helm. Darren Helm has a beat on it. He's got it now over the blue line. Darren Helm in all by himself with the shot. Oh, and it went wide, just barely wide here. O'Connor with it now, trying to poke it out back towards the blue line, and the Oilers will repossess the puck. Now coming up over the neutral zone here. Here's Leon Draisaitl with it, trying to get it in. Now to Bouchard. Bouchard with it. We'll get it out here to Gulak. Now out to Draisaitl with a shot saved by Francouz and covered up. Whoo-hoo. Ooh, this is nerve-wracking now, Avalanche fans. Boy, oh boy, 4:22 left. I thought Helm may have had a beat on it and was going to get it in. It was awfully close as Helm ran into Mike Smith. Whew. 36-31 here, the shots. 4:21 left. 5-4 Colorado looking to close this out. Face off to the right, face off circle near the Avalanche net. Puck down now. The Avalanche win the face off. Eric Johnson immediately wraps it around the boards. Trying to be worked along here by Landeskog, and it will, but kept in by the Oilers. Now batted down and out of the Colorado zone. Edmonton will just take it back to their zone now. Here is now McLeod. McLeod trying to work it around. And my feed went dead here. Now here comes Nichushkin in with it. Nichushkin with the shot, and it went wide. There, now off the puck here. Now working it around to the Avalanche here. Now here comes Comfer. Comfer trying to work it around here. Now it'll come out loose here for Zach Hyman as he tries to work it. Now Zach Hyman into the zone, but it'll be cut off there and met by two Avalanche immediately. Here's Bowen Byram now with it. Byram working it over here to JT Comfer. Now will be worked over the blue line here by Mikko Rantanen as he's clocked hard. Immediately repossessed by the Oilers. Here come the Oilers through the blue line over there with a shot by Draisaitl. Shot and a score. Score by Kassian. Unbelievable. Unbelievable goal. They got ran into. I can't believe it. I can't believe there was no call there. The Edmonton Oilers have tied this game up with 3:22 left. Unbelievable. Rantanen got rocked immediately, it led to a turnover. McDavid with a cross-ice pass. Francouz originally made the save on it, but it rolled past him. Kassian was there for the putback and just put it in the net. Unbelievable. Oh boy. 3:22 left, 37-34 the shots. Puck down now, and the Oilers have it now. Here they come through as they dump it into the Avalanche zone. Being worked around, being met by Eric Johnson as he possesses it behind his own net. Johnson trying to clear it out now. Rogers' place coming alive here now as Darnell Nurse gives chase back to it in his own zone. Now here come the Oilers have it. Here's Draisaitl now with it over the blue line as he cleared it, but he's met there by Josh Manson. He kicks it out. Here to Gabriel Landeskog. Landeskog with it as he technically clears it, but the Oilers bat it right back out of the zone. Now being batted into the zone as it's cleared. Now here comes Duncan Keith with it now. Keith with it. Coming out now behind their own zone. Here come the Oilers. Here comes Bouchard as he gets it and flips it, but it's knocked down. And now turned over. Here comes Rantanen now as he clears it in. Darren Helm giving chase to it in the corner as he does get there in time. O'Connor with it behind the net. Now to Helm. Back over to O'Connor as he lost it though. Duncan Keith there to get it. But the Avalanche trying to contest it now as Ryan tries to work it with Burakovsky. Being caught up in the corner now. It'll be worked out to the blue line. Here's Taves with it. Here on the left side with the shot. Save by Smith. 38-34. We're tied here at 5. 2:16 left. So 2:15 officially left here. 38-34 shots here. Face-off coming to the left of the Oilers net here. Landeskog will go with, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins heading off the ice here. I think he will go with Draisaitl for the face-off here. Here we go now to the left of the Oilers net. Here now. And when the false start there, referee gives them a warning. We're getting ready for it again. Ready now, puck down. The Avalanche win it. Now McKinnon with the shot. Save, kicked out, puck loose in front of the net. And it's pushed back over to the left side. The Oilers will get it and clear it out of their zone. Here comes now McDavid with it over the blue line. Now gives it with the shot. Saved by Francouz. Kicked away. Landeskog comes up with it now. Here comes Taves with it. Up to the neutral zone. Here comes McKinnon over the blue line. Turns around with the shot and it went just wide of the net. Here come the Oilers now. Avs need to get back on defense as now it's cut off here. Avs trying to contest it through the neutral zone. Now here's Josh Manson with it. 1:42 left. Avs need to make a final push here. Byram with it. Over to Rantanen as it clears into the Oilers zone. Rantanen here with it Lehkonen there. Now came up with by Rantanen with the turnaround shot up and out of play. If your heart isn't beating fast right now, ladies and gentlemen, you are not a true hockey fan because my heart is racing. 1:28 left in this game. We are tied at 5. Francouz coming up with some huge saves, though. Avalanche keeping the pressure on, coming up with some huge defense. They need to make one more offensive push, though. 39-35 are the shots. 1:28 left here. If it goes to overtime, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have Bronco Bill face-off won by the Avalanche. Out to the blue line with a shot redirected. Fell on by McKinnon, though, as it's being tied up here. And it'll come out here with Ranson as it working out to blue line. Taves with a shot blocked in the middle of the lane by Bouchard. Now the Oilers try to work it out, and they do. It'll be knocked down and retained by Taves in their own zone here. Here's Taves with it now. Now here's McCarr coming out of his own zone through the neutral zone. Now over to Rantanen. Rantanen clears it over the blue line. Now to Taves. Taves with a Rantanen shot and a save. Trying to push it out back behind the net, but the Oilers try to kick it out here. Oilers have it now. Here's Draisaitl with it. Now Foegele being beat. Now here's Foegele, though, with 3 Avalanche on him as a shot's blocked. Taves retains it here. 47 seconds left. Here comes Taves as he works it along the boards, trying to be worked along into the Oilers zone. No icing, waved off. Now here's Ceci. Both teams here with the line change here. Left back here, trying to be picked off here. Now the Oilers work it along here through the neutral zone. Hyman gets tripped up there, being worked out. Now here comes JT Compher in here to the left side of the net. Now over to Nichushkin. Nichushkin with it, with the pass in the lane, broken up, knocked down by Compher here. Back to the blue line here with Byram. Here's Byram with it. In 13 seconds left, shot saved, poked away, being fought for in front of the net. Here come the Oilers with it, though. Now being in the neutral zone and being knocked away by Josh Manson. Manson with it with Nichushkin, and they'll move it up out of the zone. Whistle, I believe it was whistled out of play. 2.2 seconds left. .20 seconds left here. We'll bring on Bronco Bill here just shortly. Face-off will come to the red dot near the Avalanche bench just before their blue line, I believe. So it'll be actually 3.4. .40 seconds left here. It'll be to the left face-off circle near the Avalanche net here. It'll be Compher and Draisaitl for the face-off. 5-5 here. Puck down. Oilers win it, but it'll go over the blue line. It's offsides, 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen, Game 4 is going to overtime. It is going to overtime. With that being said, I do think they might take an intermission here. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I will bring in here my guest at this time and our special guest, Bronco Bill. Bronco Bill, what a change of events.
Okay, before we start.
That's the Avalanche goal horn going off in the background, by the way. That's not the fire trucks.
No, it is. Yeah, well, hopefully it's the Avalanche horn going off in the overtime, but unfortunately it is a fire truck. I owe you an apology. I owe you a huge apology. Okay? I'm sorry. I gave up on him in the third period. But can you blame me? I mean, the way they were playing. But but wait a minute. You said it straight up right before the third period. You said, when I asked you, what do you think is going to happen in the third period with the Avalanche? And you said, I will know something in the first 5 minutes. My goodness. Are you a guru or what?
Well, I mean, it's just the boys in the room. You know, if the boys are going to be fired up, they're going to come out fired up. And that's what happened. I said, we'll see here within the first 3 to 5 minutes of this period if they're really going to come back into it. And they did. But to be honest, Bill, more composure than previously, but still some iffy play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Still, not all is well in Avalanche land. They had 2 opportunities.
Sorry about that ring, Tone.
No worries.
My wife will get it.
They have 2 they had 2 opportunities to put that game away. They had 2.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
And they let both of them slip by.
Yep. But then again, you have to give credit, and I hate to say this because but I'm going to say it anyways. You have to give credit to Edmonton because they have nothing to lose. They're coming out and saying, hey, you know what? We're going to give you everything we have. If you can beat us, then you are the best.
Dude, I just got to say right now, all credit goes to Leon Draisaitl. I don't even know how that guy's still in the game. I don't even know how he's playing. I don't know if they maybe gave him some cortisone or what the hell they gave him in the dressing room, but
something illegal.
No, yeah, I'm sorry. But whatever happened, I mean, the guy's tough. He's a double tough. You know what? He really is.
But then again, it goes back to what I just said. They have nothing to lose. I mean, they have what, 4 or 5 months off until they have to get back into, preseason or whatever. So Draisaitl said, hey, do whatever you got to do in the locker room that's legal, and I'll come back out. I'll give you everything I have. I may not be able to walk for the next month, but I'll give you everything I have.
Yeah, like he was even doing that before the intermission for the second to third period. I mean, he was slow to get up like 3 different times in the second period. And every time he just kept coming back and coming back. I got to give credit to Leon Draisaitl, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, I know we're Avalanche fans and everything, but you got to recognize greatness when you see it. And man, he's been really tough, and he's really playing through a lot of things for his team.
Absolutely. What do you think of Burakovsky's play after comeback? I mean, the guy kicks out his right leg in the second period to stop a potential, shot on goal. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm impressed. This whole team, and I know we've had some hiccups in this game.
Yeah,
and rightfully pointed out, but there are some key plays that these guys are making, saying, hey, you know what? We don't want to go back to Denver, play 5.
Yeah, we don't. And like I said, what I say, Bill, between the second and third period, I said the big names have to get going. Mm-hmm. Rantanen, McKinnon score.
And they did.
They did. They got going. They really needed help from that first line, because you know what? To be honest with you, Bill, and let's call a spade here, throughout the majority of these playoffs, from the second round on, the first line has been kind of quiet offensively. Mm-hmm. It's been the depth that has been carrying this Colorado Avalanche team, and they can't do it forever. No. And you can see it wearing on Helm, Manson, Compher, and others. I mean, the weight, the weight of the pressure now being put on them without Nazem Kadri in this lineup is immense, and you can feel it, because it is a different game. This kind of does, even if we win this game, this kind of does worry me going into the Stanley Cup Finals. This is a cause for concern. Because I don't know, maybe if it's just the fact that it's a put away game and maybe the Avalanche are just struggling with that on a mental level, or if it truly is the lack of presence of Nazem Kadri that really is taking an effect on this Avalanche team. I have yet to figure it out. I mean, we'll find out, if the Avalanche move on in game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. But, right now it seems to be the pressure of the weight on the whole rest of the team is really immense right now.
Let me ask you a question. Let's go back to 2001.
Right.
Forsberg was out. And Joe Sakic had to pick it up. And Patrick Waugh had to pick it up. And Rob Blake had to pick it up. And
Alex Tanguay, Danny Highnote.
Exactly.
All those guys. So Adam Foote.
To me, this team is the 2001 2.0.
Yeah.
But my question is, can they get it done like they did in 2001?
Right. And even in 2001, like I previously mentioned, in the second and third intermission, there were times, Avalanche were up 3-2 and had a chance to put it away in New Jersey, and they didn't. And as soon as the Devils won game 6 and it head back to Colorado, the question really sunk in, man, the loss of Peter Forsberg may really be the end of the Avalanche. I remember that. I remember it so vividly. And everybody was kind of just questioning whether the Avalanche could get it done.
Right.
And this is kind of one of those situations. Kadri goes out. We have a chance to put it away. Is the pressure too much for the Avalanche? I don't know. It seems to be a lot right now.
Oh, it's a lot. There's no doubt. I mean, Nathan McKinnon says, this is all he's always wanted to play for. And then you have Darren Helm, who's come over to the Avalanche, says, all I want to do is win another one. And then you have all these other players that are young guys like Bo Byram. You have these young guys that want to taste it and feel it. They would just want to get to the Stanley Cup. Nathan McKinnon says, I want to win it. And Nathan McKinnon, he's an alternate, which I don't understand, should be a captain. But anyways, he has a lot of presence in the locker room. He has a tremendous amount of presence on the ice. Somebody has to take the reins on this team, and not just Bednar. It has to be a players or 2 or 3 players that say, "Hey, this is what we need to do. We are on the threshold. Let's don't blow it."
Yeah, we are. We're reaching the threshold right now, and obviously, and before we go to the overtime period, let's remind everybody the overtime rules in the playoffs. It's 5-on-5 for 20 minutes, and next team scores wins. And how many overtimes that takes? That's how long it takes. But it's 5-on-5 for 20 minutes straight. Again.
All right. One last thing. Who wins? Do we win it in Game 5? Does the Oilers win it? I mean, not Game 5. I'm sorry. The fourth period. Let me
overtime.
Let me retract.
Overtime.
In overtime. Do the Avalanche win in this period in overtime, or do the Oilers win it and send it back to Denver?
We do, and it's going to be Cale Makar that scores the game-winning goal.
All right. I'll call you on the end of the game.
All righty. Thank you very much, Bronco Bill. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a brief break. When we come back, overtime hockey here. It's Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals right here on the Case by Case Sports Show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Let's bring in a few things. This game is so stinking intense. It is. Gaming Clips, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Key in the building. It's a game now. Yes, it is. It's more than a game. It's overtime hockey. It's overtime playoff hockey and an elimination game, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as me and Bill explained before, it's going to be 5-on-5 for 20 minutes. How many overtimes it takes. First team to score wins. Unlike in the regular season where it goes 3-on-3 for, I believe it's 5 minutes. And then if it's still tied in the regular season after 3-on-3, it goes to a shootout. Gaming Clips says, let's go Avalanche. Let's go Avalanche. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Gaming Clips, for being in here and tuning in. New faces I'm seeing here in the chat. Thank you guys so much. If you guys like what you hear or see, please be sure to leave me a subscribe or a like. Costs you nothing. Helps me grow the channel. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, whether it's 2 seconds, 2 hours, or 2 days long. We appreciate everybody here on the Case by Case Sports Show. Well, I called it with Bill previously. I said Avalanche are going to win, and I believe it's going to be Cale Makar that scores the game-winning goal for the Colorado Avalanche. So we will see here. We're just waiting to come back for the action here from the recent commercial break. It should be no longer than a minute here. We're to a minute and a half as we are waiting. This has been an absolutely insane game, ladies and gentlemen. Insane game. The Avalanche were down by, I believe, 2 goals consistently at 2 different points in this game. They come back to score it and take the lead twice, by the way, and then blow both of those leads to leave it tied at the end of 3 periods. We are just getting ready and set. Thank you guys so much for joining me, as you guys have here. Still waiting. Here we go now. Both teams out on the ice, commencing here to center ice for the faceoff. Nathan MacKinnon, 18 and a half minutes of total ice time. Connor McDavid, 26 and a half minutes of ice time as we're getting ready here. Guys just getting their legs warmed up. Which team will dig deep, ladies and gentlemen? Which team will dig deep and pull this out? Can the Avalanche do it and move on to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in 21 years? Or will the Oilers send it back to Denver for Game 5? We are set to find out. Here as the horn sounds. And we get ready to drop this puck for the overtime period. Here we go now. Puck down now, and the Avalanche will have it. Makar now with it. Get it to Taves as he clears it into the zone here. 40-35 of the shots here now being cut off into the net. Valenchushkin trying to go for it now. It'll be moved along by the Oilers out of the zone. McDavid leaves it. Now here comes Draisaitl over the blue line here as he'll cut back towards the blue line as he's met by 3 Avalanche. Right out in front of the net, it'll be worked over by Devon Taves. Taves trying to work it out of the zone here now. Now the Oilers come back up with it in their own zone. Now moving on to Darnell Nurse. We'll rink-wide pass over to Leon Draisaitl in front. And it's knocked away. Here comes MacKinnon now over the neutral zone into the blue line. Here's MacKinnon with as he stops it. Dumps it and leaves it in behind the net for Burakovsky now, but it's picked off and taken the other way by Leon Draisaitl now, trying to clear it into the Avalanche zone. They do, but Eric Johnson will be on it immediately. Now out of the zone, though. Now Zach Hyman has it just barely before the blue line as it'll be tipped up and out of play. 19:02. To be honest, if the Oilers win, I'm going to go to the game. Awesome Gaming Clips. That'll be awesome if you go to the game. Amazing here. It looks like the faceoff will be to the red dot near the Oilers bench. There we go now. Puck down, and the Avalanche have it. Now they come out. Here's Johnson now with it. Clear it through the neutral zone over the blue line. It'll be into the Oilers zone. JT Compher giving chase to it, but Connor McDavid cutting it off behind the net. Now Matt Ranson fighting for it, though it'll be worked around. Now a slap shot by Johnson as it's wide and up out of play. $18:46 left here. 40-35 with the shots. Both teams trying to fill out the offensive zone and get the puck here to try and set it up and get something made here for a play. It's a filling out process in the overtime. 18:46 left. Here we go now. Face off to the right, face off circle here by the Edmonton Oilers net. Now puck down now, and the Avs will come up with it now. Kicks out to the blue line with a slap shot by the car in front. Score! Arturi Lehkonen with the game-winning goal! For the first time in 21 years, the Colorado Avalanche are heading to the Stanley Cup Finals. Wait now, hold on. We have the officials here gathering here for a review. Hold on. I don't know what they're looking at here. They're trying to see if Lehkonen got his stick up a little too high, as a slap shot came from Makar. Hold on here. Whoa. It's not exactly over. The referees are taking a look at it here. We'll see here. Still taking a look at it here under review. I may have gotten a little bit too excited. You can't quite see it from that angle either. They're looking to see if the stick went up over the bar as far as height goes, to see if Lehkonen knocked it down. Here comes the call. And it's called a goal. The Colorado Avalanche are moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in 21 years. Arturi Lehkonen was the guy who scored it for the Montreal Canadiens to put them into the Stanley Cup just a year ago, and he puts it away for the Colorado Avalanche. The Colorado Avalanche sweep the Edmonton Oilers 4-0. Unbelievable here from Rogers Place. What an amazing game here. Oh my goodness, what an ending. I mean, I had it kind of called here. But then again, I had the player wrong. Let's bring in here now Bronco Bill.
Hang on a second. Hang on.
Okay. Bronco Bill's got to hang on here for a minute. Hold on one second. He's got to hang on. But ladies and gentlemen, the Colorado Avalanche are moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in 21 years. Bronco Bill, tell us all about this.
All right, I'm back.
Main question before we get all worked up here.
I got worked up. I don't even know where my hat is. Anyways, go on.
Do you think that was a high stick by Lehkonen? It's so hard to tell. It was close.
It was close. Very close. I mean, it was like right here.
Yeah.
But all the different angles, and of course they see it in New York and they see it on their monitor and whatnot. So they have different angles that we do. But what a way! Oh my gosh, dude. I'm exhausted, dude. I'm exhausted. I mean, when you and I talked after the second, during the second intermission, and I said, I don't have any confidence. I don't have trust in this. I mean, what happened? And that's what drives me crazy about this team. It's the same thing it does with the Broncos and the Nuggets and the Rockets or whoever. It's just, well, especially the Broncos.
Play from behind. They have to play from behind. I don't understand it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it at all. Key in the building says, congratulations. Thank you very much, Key. Wow, though. But to sweep, look, the Oilers coming into this year's playoffs, Connor McDavid had a, what was he was having almost a 50-point playoff.
Yeah.
Coming into the series, the Oilers were red hot, Bronco Bill.
Oh, absolutely.
They were red
absolutely
hot. And the Avalanche find a way to cool them down. Obviously, the handshake line has gone through here. Mike Smith absolutely looks devastated. All the Oilers do. Connor McDavid looks absolutely devastated. The Avalanche, though, here's the key. What I was looking for, I was going to see if the Avalanche were going to celebrate too hard, and they haven't. They kind of just left the ice gracefully. They didn't, I mean, they kind of celebrated a little bit when the goal was scored, but
well, yeah, of course,
any team's going to do that on any game-winning goal, even if it was a regular season game. You're gonna celebrate like that. There's not too much over celebration. McKinnon giving the post-game interview right now, he's very calm and poised. This team is on a mission. They're on a mission to win the Stanley Cup. They know they're capable of doing it, but man, what a way to win it. And how funny is it that Arturi Lehkonen sends the Avalanche to the Stanley Cup after sending the Montreal Canadiens to the Stanley Cup in the previous year? How poetic justice is that for the Colorado Avalanche? That's insane.
And, you mentioned, how poised the Avalanche are. They're not getting too excited. They're not jumping up and down. They're not saying, hey, we love this. No, you know why? They're focused.
Yep.
They know that you can win 12 of the 16. But until you win 16, you ain't nothing.
Yep.
And that's how this team is treating it. They're treating it as
absolutely
okay. That's step 3. We need to take care of step 4. They get to sit back and rest.
Right now, if we're judging this on a mountain standpoint, we are at the summit of the peak. We are at the summit of the peak right now. We just need to get to the peak.
Right.
That's where we're at right now. But for the first time in 21 years, Bronco Bill, the Colorado Avalanche are Western Conference champions.
Just like it says, 0-1 last time.
0-1. 21 years ago, they won the Western Conference title. They win the Western Conference title here. Unbelievable. I can't imagine how nuts the city of Denver, Colorado is going right now. I bet you down at the DNVR bar, they're going absolutely insane. And it's just, and now the trophy being presented here for the Western Conference Championship. Joe Sakic on the ice right now, all in company, and Landeskog is now skating out here to the red carpet that they've laid out to receive the trophy as the captain. So honorary does in tradition here for the Colorado Avalanche. Unbelievable. What a sight to see. Wow. He's waving over the whole team. They're going to take a team photo. And on the back of Pavel Francouz, the Colorado Avalanche are going to the Stanley Cup final. I never thought I'd say those words. I never thought I'd say those words.
Not with Frank Coast anyways.
No, I didn't. I had the thought, and I was like, you're not winning a cup with Francouz. You're not doing it. And it's like, they very well could. They very well could at this point. But the question now the big question is now, Bill, because we've seen Francouz get a little bit shaky, but how much of that was on Pavel Francouz? Was it on him so much, or was it on the D line? Because I could argue that it's more of the D corps' blame to put on for the shortcomings of Pavel Francouz than it is Pavel Francouz himself. I think he played just fine.
I would say it's more on the intensity of the Oilers. I mean, the Oilers turned it up. I mean, like I said earlier, they had nothing to lose, and they needed to win this game, obviously. And the crowd got into it. They took that 4-2 lead. Of course, the Avalanche tied it. They forced overtime, but the Oilers, I have to give credit to them. They never quit. And like you said about Draisaitl, I don't know how that guy stayed on his skates. I don't know how he just didn't go in the locker room and just pass out.
Yeah, because he looked like he was hurt really bad. I mean, he was getting beaten and pummeled into the boards by Darren Helm. And then before that, he took a puck off of himself. It was a hard slap shot by McDavid, and he actually got in the way of it, in front of it, and he took it right to the back. And man, it's going to be interesting to see in the next coming days on Twitter to see what it was for him, because usually, the day after the elimination, somebody will we'll post Leon Draisaitl went to so-and-so to get surgery on this.
Sure.
You know, that's when it all comes out. You really find out what players were dealing with. It'll be interesting to see as a whole what the Oilers were exactly dealing with, because we saw Pulviari come off once he went back to the locker room too. It seemed like Mike Smith was kind of maybe having an issue there with something in his eyes. I mean, but you play through injuries. The Avalanche are playing through injuries. There's no excuse. I mean, Oilers fans are going to cry all day long on Twitter. I know they are.
Say it was a bad goal in overtime.
A bad goal, and there's multiple no calls, and you know,
running into the goalie for a goal.
And here comes the age-old argument of the NHL is against Canadian teams, and they don't want the Canadian teams winning the Stanley Cup ever again, which is just completely insane. Because it's like, how are you going to deny a team in the birthplace of hockey a Stanley Cup? I highly doubt the NHL is actively, actively trying to go against that. I don't believe that for 1 second.
Well, here's the other thing. If you're a head linesman or head referee, are you going to jeopardize your entire career because you're trying to call a game against a team?
Well, not only that, if they didn't want a Canadian team winning the cup, how did the Montreal Canadiens get into the Stanley Cup final like 2 years ago? How does that happen? If they truly didn't even want them anywhere near a Stanley Cup, that wouldn't have happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's a really ignorant argument as far as I'm concerned. But, again, Avalanche, first time in 21 years, they're Western Conference champions. Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. I can't believe it. We're going to find out. Rumor has it that game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals will either be on June 16th or June 18th, depending on when this series. Now it's a sit and watch game for Avalanche fans. We're going to sit and watch the New York Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning fight it out to see who we get to play. And the most important thing, Bill, we get rest. A minimum. Exactly,
but is it too much?
I don't think it is at this point. I don't think it's, considering what we're dealing with as a team, I don't think it's too much at all. I mean, the Edmonton Oilers, let's be honest here.
You know what? I hate to interrupt you, but I'm not going to doubt you, because I doubted you going into third period today. So I'm not going to doubt you.
Hey, we had 8 days in between the first and second round. Okay. And we're here. Yep. So we get a maximum of 8, a minimum of 5. Now that we've closed it out. Given what we're dealing with, I don't think that amount of rest is too much. I think Kemper will be able to go. Obviously, Burakovsky's back and Abe Kubel. If we get Kemper back, we will have as many players as we can back. Because obviously Kadri's out no matter what. He had surgery on his thumb. Rumor has it it's on his stick hand, on his bottom hand. So you're not playing through that. If it had been if it had been on the opposite hand of his stick hand, I think it's on the. If it is on the bottom, or no, if it's on the top. If it's on the top, or bottom, it's one of the two. If it's on, you can get by with it. But rumor has it it's on his dominant stick hand. So I don't think he's going to play through that or risk that even further. And even if he does play through it, it's not going to be 100% Nazem Kadri. It's just not.
I wouldn't want him out there.
No,
because not if he can't be 100%.
No, because hockey players, if you talk to them, they say one of the first things to go. There's 2 spots in your body that are the first thing to go. That's your hands and your knees. They go. And once they go, you diminish as a player pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So, but in regards to, though, Bill, it's very interesting. How does the injury affect the re-signing of Nazem Kadri? Does he go and look for that big bag in free agency, or does he stay loyal to the Avalanche? Because, I mean, he's not going to have the argument of, hey, I won a cup, pay me, because he got injured.
Well, if the Avalanche win a Stanley Cup, just like any championship team, there's always players that are going to say, hey, I won one already. That was my goal. Now I'm going for the money.
Right.
If he does a hometown discount, I would love it. I don't expect it, but
especially with the big giant elephant in the room of Nathan McKinnon having to be paid.
McKinnon
is going to ask the Avalanche to back up the Brinks truck pretty hard in the offseason. He is.
Sure.
And you know what? The Avalanche are going to probably pay him every single dime that he's worth, because
he's
worth it. I would too. It's just like the other day with Russell Wilson. He's asking $250 million for the okay, pay him. Yeah. Pay him. I'll pay that 10 times out of 10. You know what you're
Absolutely.
getting. You know what you're getting. And, it's just going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. I mean, obviously, we still have a whole 7-game series to go here. So the work is not done. And I think the Avalanche realize that. But with that being said, thank you so much, Bronco Bill, for joining me in between intermissions. We will do it for the Stanley Cup final again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That being said, 6-5 is the final tonight. The Colorado Avalanche are moving on to the Stanley Cup. You have been watching the Western Conference Finals on the Case by Case Sports Show. Thank you, everybody, so much. Good night.